Coming to you live from the beautiful suburbs of Johns Creek, Georgia. This is the Week Zero podcast. I am your host here, Andrew Coster. Joining me to my right is my co-host Connor. Georgia has the best tech Dotry, and to my diagonal right, Lucas Travis Dye is your dad, Big Knight. No, he's not. And below me, Ryan. Oregon is the best team in Oregon Fravel.
Oregon.
So welcome back, guys. Great.
Oregon State lost, Ryan. Why are you still saying that?
Yeah, Lucas said they lost to Utah.
They did.
I don't know.
But yeah, welcome back, guys. How was your weekend?
Fantastic. It was a good one.
Amazing. We got to beat up on USC.
That's not
after watching the Broncos lose to a guy named Dearnest.
We don't talk about that, okay? I had a bad weekend outside of Notre Dame. Okay?
I'm just glad I picked Dearnest up in fantasy. He won me the game. I'm still the only undefeated team in my main fantasy league right now. 7-0.
Runs a 4.8 40 and goes over 100 on you.
And then breaks tackles, and Case Keenum looks like a god.
Congrats.
Congrats. You played yourself.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
But yeah,
All
guys.
right.
So there really wasn't that much exciting.
And my weekend, nothing major happened. Just nice.
Plus Virginia Tech got
Stop
Syracuse.
Don't worry, Ryan. We'll get into it.
About that. Nothing happened much.
Hey, it's okay. Clemson lost too. But to be honest,
Sean Tucker fries me.
they took an L so that the Braves could go to the World Series. So to be honest, I will live with it. So
hey, Clemson still has a chance to win the ACC.
No.
If the Braves don't win this series,
everything possible to go their way.
I'm just dude. Whatever. I don't even care anymore about it. At this point,
they wouldn't even make the playoff.
Well, yeah, obviously. But
I don't even think even if you won the ACC, I don't think they'd even accept you to go to the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, they will have to.
They have Clemson in the Cheez-It Bowl right now.
Well, we wouldn't go to the Orange. Well, okay. Well, we wouldn't go to the Orange Bowl this year because that's a playoff game. So whatever.
Oh, the Orange Bowl is one of the playoff games this week or this year?
Yeah, it's the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Can somebody tell me why Coastal Carolina doesn't play on weekends?
Why is that?
Oh, yeah.
I
don't know, man.
Are they playing again tonight?
They play today, yeah.
They're playing Troy. They should win this time, though. I shouldn't have doubted my boy Chase Bryce. How about that? How about that? Ryan over here talking all that smack down there, dude.
He's throwing some dots. He's a stud.
Did you see that where he retweeted that tweet? No, he was.
Did he go to first to Duke?
Yeah, he was not good at Duke, but that was not the fit for him. I'm gonna be 100% honest. But hey, we had a good weekend.
You're not late, Josh.
Hey, the Falcons won. The Falcons won somehow. So
the Dolphins out-Dolphins.
Hey, the Falcons have a better record than the
Falcons.
Yeah, I know. That's very embarrassing, Ryan.
Hey, we're tanking for the top 10 pick and Aaron Rodgers.
We're pulling a Falcons.
Aaron Rodgers going to the Eagles because they actually got the picks that they can trade.
Hey, no, he only has a 1-year deal. He can sign wherever he wants.
No, they can trade him. They still have an extra year. They got rid of the 2020.
I thought it was only 1-year deal.
No, they got rid of his contract originally went to 2023. They voided that, so they still have next year.
All right, guys, we got way too much off track here. Oh my God, here we go again. It's gonna be last week all over again. But sorry about that.
Going 2 hours and 45 minutes.
No, if we manage to go 2 hours and 45 minutes this week, I generally gonna be like, what's wrong with us? I think we're just gonna try and make it longer
because I don't think we should go that long because there was nothing that happened.
No, there really was. I mean, there's only a few things really we need to talk about here, and I'm just gonna pull them up on my computer here, the scores again from last week, the main ones that were important. I mean, obviously App State being Coastal, so
we all got that wrong on the day of the show.
Well, yeah, even after the game had started, but I will have taken Coastal anyway. I don't know. That's actually fun fact. App State's first win versus the top 25 opponent since 2007. That's crazy. Yeah, because they've come so close so many times. I mean,
and they've only been an FBS school for what since 2013. I want to say
2014.
I know for 2014 or 15 because I know for a fact their first FBS game was a rematch against Michigan.
It was.
Game back as an FBS when they moved up to FBS was Michigan.
Clemson played them in 2015. I can't remember if they were in the Sun Belt yet or not.
They've actually been really good since they've been in the FBS.
Really haven't.
No, they actually have.
Are they in the Sun Belt? Are they
They're in the Sun Belt. Yeah, they are. Georgia Southern was for a while too, and now they're just.
I wouldn't mind. I know we were talking about the AAC last week. I wouldn't mind seeing Appalachian State go up to the AAC.
Nah, dude, they got too many rivalries in the Sun Belt. That wouldn't make because like Georgia Southern and teams like that. That's huge rivalry games. They were not going to leave for that. And Coastal, because Coastal hasn't been in the FBS that long either. But I mean, obviously, so another game we need to probably Ryan. Lucas, you looked like you might be right for a minute there with Tennessee and Alabama. Tennessee was giving it to them early, and then they turned it up.
And Hooker dunking all over Virginia Tech's face.
So I'm not. So in that game, at the beginning of the game, it was weird because it looked like both their defenses just didn't know how to play football. But I kind of knew that it was going to be pretty bad at the beginning when I was seeing Mechie and Robinson get open every single play. They were dropping balls all over the place, but they were open every single play. So it was bound to happen that Alabama was going to come out with the victory. But I mean, man, Tennessee wanted to give it to me. They really did. They wanted to give me that victory, but it is what it is.
At the end of the day.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But I will say
I had to stick to my guns.
I mean, they were only down 7 with what, like 12 minutes?
No, I mean,
quarter?
Alabama really just blew it open in the fourth quarter. Funny enough. So, I think that Tennessee definitely is on the right track. I think, in my opinion, they are the toughest game Georgia has remaining on their schedule.
Is the game at
Isn't
Tennessee?
Georgia still
It's
play
at
Ole
Tennessee.
Miss?
No, they do not play Ole Miss.
Oh.
If the line's less than 21 points, I'd probably take Tennessee with the points, honestly.
I don't know how many.
I don't know. That might be a tough game for old Georgia. I mean, I know I've been saying that they look really, really good, but I gotta stick with Ryan a little bit here, and their offense might not be able to keep up with Tennessee's offense. I mean, it's very possible.
But can the Tennessee offense
unless they have
what they do?
Unless they need to put in JT Daniels.
I mean,
yes,
they need to for sure.
Thank you. That's 100%.
I know. That's my
Thank
belief
you.
too. If they put JT back in, I think their offense will be clicking.
And
we're still giving JT Daniels way too much credit. Dude has not proved a dang thing since he left USC.
You're not wrong.
Bro, he literally won them a Sugar Bowl last year. What do you mean?
Does a Sugar Bowl really matter?
Bro, they beat Cincinnati. They beat undefeated Cincinnati.
They barely beat Cincinnati.
Okay, they still beat them. And obviously, Cincinnati is a proven football team. That's why they're ranked number 2 in the country right now.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Dude, what do you want this guy to do?
I want him to actually perform and not just one game. I want
Notre Dame to beat a quality opponent, but we can't have everything.
Hey, you know what? When JT Daniels was with Notre Dame, with USC, what happened?
Okay, what happened when Georgia came to Notre Dame?
That was worse.
Ian Book outplayed JT Daniels in that game.
Okay. Congrats.
And Ian Book is so good that he still is not starting for the Saints because he.
Hey, you know what? It's because Famous Jameis is still there.
Bro, they barely beat the Seahawks with a backup quarterback.
That was,
hey, don't sleep on Geno Smith, man.
Bro, No.
Oh, my God.
But, okay, so there's really only a couple other things we need to talk about. Iowa State beating Oklahoma State. I called it. I told you. I just really don't think Oklahoma State's as good as their record showed, and I think we kind of showed it. And also, I think Iowa State has kind of woken up since the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, they were definitely struggling. But as the season's gone on, they have really started to pick it up. Now they're 5-2. I mean, what? There's only 2 losses at the end of the day are what? To Baylor, who's 16, and Iowa, who's not. And quite frankly, I think if the Iowa and Iowa State played again right now, Iowa State's going to win that game.
I don't know because Brock Purdy was the reason they lost that game against Iowa.
Brock Purdy this past weekend went for 27 of 33, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns.
But that's against a Big 12 defense. That's not against an Iowa defense.
I mean,
that's still a top 10 defense in the country.
To be fair, Oklahoma State may have.
I think Purdy might be able to cut down some of the interceptions, and maybe they would win again. But I would still probably pick Iowa. straight up at this point. I know their offense is horrendous, but I'd take Iowa at this point still.
I mean, it's just at the point now where I just think the Big 12 people need to stop saying, "Oh, Oklahoma State needs to be ranked top 10." Oklahoma. To me, the Big 12 is the worst conference. I understand people want to give the ACC crap, but they have
No, it's
ACC.
the ACC.
No, it's the
It's
ACC.
No,
It's
I
the
think
ACC.
top to
No, it's the
bottom.
ACC,
I think
bro.
no. This is
Top to
why.
bottom? Are you?
And I'm saying
I mean-
because Kansas is at the bottom. Everybody in the ACC is better than Kansas.
Okay, that's one team.
But what I'm saying is that because you look at Oklahoma
Like
State,
I
you
would
look
pick
at-
Oklahoma State, and Iowa State to beat almost every other team in the ACC.
I wouldn't.
I
because
Wait,
they don't
let's
have
let's
defense.
let Ryan finish
Okay.
what he's trying to say.
This is just what I was saying. This is why, though, because the Big 12 doesn't play defense outside of West Virginia. And Oklahoma State has probably the second best defense in the Big 12. And that doesn't say much. And you look at how Oklahoma's performing on a week-to-week basis outside of the TCU game. When have they showed that they've separated themselves? I mean, to me, it's like if you put Oklahoma up against anybody in the top 10, they're going to get exposed. I don't think Oklahoma can go. I mean, when you have Oklahoma, Texas, Oklahoma State, and Iowa State are your top 4 teams, and none of them have looked impressive the entire
Baylor.
year. Or, yeah, Baylor too. I mean, it's just like, to me, I don't think that if you put those and you compare it to what the SEC has going on or the Big Ten, or even the ACC, because I think Wake Forest would beat Oklahoma right now.
All right, stop.
Honestly. No, I'm being serious. Like,
Well,
Sam Hartman is playing like at a Heisman level right now.
to be
Bro,
honest, I don't
No.
disagree.
I mean, I
bro,
would
Sam Hartman is
actually-
great, but let's also just not act like they just gave up 56 points to Army.
That's
But
a
yeah,
tough
because they can't
defense
stop
to
the
prepare
run.
for.
Well, yes, but like we're acting like that Wake Forest didn't ever have to play Georgia Tech when they were running the same style offense. Yes, a lot of obviously none of the guys now are there from there, but the coaches are, and they should still have the game plan on how to defend that.
No, but I'm not saying
it's one of the hardest offenses in the country, and any
I know.
level of.
I
I
know.
mean, because they run it in high school football all the
I
time, and I
know.
think it's bold.
No,
I think
no,
it's
I'd
bold
say-
because
I'd say it's
super hard
more
to prepare
impressive that, and I'm going to mention this because they're in a segment coming up, but they scored 70 points in 17 minutes of offense. Well,
They
60
were very explosive. I will give them that.
like I'm saying this, like I don't think Wake Forest would stop Caleb Williams in Oklahoma, but I also don't think Oklahoma's defense would be able to stop Sam Hartman in that Wake Forest offense. And I think Sam Hartman would be able to make less mistakes than Caleb Williams just going for. I mean, just after watching the Kansas game, I know it's one game. He's had 3 starts. He did not look good against Kansas, and Kansas is
okay,
should be
yes,
the FCS team. Like honestly.
yeah, it's not 2007.
I
anymore
don't
before
think Kansas would be able to beat half of the FCS teams.
North Dakota State wouldn't. Oh,
Murder
really?
them.
Well, notice how Kansas will never schedule North Dakota State because they know that would happen.
Yeah.
Oregon
Oh.
did, and then we
Okay,
got COVID.
Okay, that's different though. I
We were
mean,
supposed to play Trey Lance,
Oh yeah.
but then
but-
he ended up leaving, and then we didn't get the game.
No, but I will say this though about Iowa State's defense. They've actually been arguably for a lot of the season the strong suit. I mean, yeah, they gave up 27 to Iowa, but a lot of that was because of their offense making mistakes, not their defense. Really, the only time their offense has gotten a lot of points scored on them at all is against Baylor. So
Didn't
think Iowa's-
Brock throw 4 interceptions in that game? Wasn't it 4? I think
What,
it
against
It was
Baylor?
3. It was 3.
against. It was 3.
Iowa.
Okay,
Yeah.
against
he
Iowa.
threw 3 against Iowa. He threw 1 against Baylor. But I
I think he also had a forced fumble in that game too, and he got
I-
sacked like 8 times.
I think there was
Fumbled.
also a lot of I think there must have been a lot of turnovers against Baylor too, because Iowa State outgained Baylor 479 to 282 in that game. So I think Iowa State does play defense. I will say that them and West Virginia though are the only 2 teams in the Big 12 that play defense. But just looking at their stats, that's been arguably the strong suit of their team.
I mean, they said that Brock Purdy, when I was watching that Iowa State game, they said Brock Purdy in 4 years at Iowa State has turned the ball over. I think it was 33 times
That's not
in
good.
4 years. Yeah. So they were saying like they understand, oh, you've been starting for 4 years. That's a part of it. But it's just like that's been his Achilles
That's why
heel.
he's not going to be an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, no, he's not. Brees Hall is still, but I will say Brees Hall is also kind of woken up too. But can we also talk about in that Iowa State game that taunting call? That might be the worst call in college football I've ever seen.
I have no
There's
idea.
been a few of those this season.
I have
There's been
no
a
idea
few.
which one you're talking
I didn't
about.
get to see that.
So, man, I would pull it up on the screen, but at the chance of getting demonetized, I actually originally planned on that. But what happened was basically he literally did a small version of what Deion Sanders used to do, walking in the end zone, but like minimal. It was honestly like not
Well, like
that
the
noticeable.
like the hop from
Yeah. But it was like even like that hardcore.
Shadeur Sanders, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. He just did that the other day in a game and didn't get called for it.
Yeah, no, it was very
He's a
soft.
kid?
Everyone I've seen like on social media said that is one of the worst calls they've ever seen. And I agree 100%. It was a joke. And this whole taunting thing in college football needs to stop. Like,
It's not just college football; it's the NFL. I mean,
well, that too.
Like these are grown men. It's not like you have like a bunch of like elementary school kids playing peewee football.
Yeah,
and they say a cuss word and you get thrown out. I mean, these are grown men. You can't expect grown men to be hitting each other on every play and just not to say anything or do anything at all.
Do they not realize that emotions are part of the game? Like, yeah, there's a limit you have to take with it.
It's like
let the guys have fun.
It's like football's trying to create a unwritten code of rules, which that baseball has, and that's been that whole big thing in baseball with all these newer generation players breaking the unwritten rules and stuff, and NFL's trying to create that kind of.
Well, and I think the reasoning for it is because they want to prevent things like that happened the other night with like Hassan Whiteside and whatever is the other kid, where they're fighting and stuff. In the NBA, it's like they want to prevent that in football because football players get more. Like naturally, they're more aggressive than basketball players.
When was the last major fight you can think of in
Miles Garrett?
In college.
NFL or college?
No, just
college. It was after that one bowl game where everybody just
wasn't that the Tulsa game? Mississippi State.
That was Memphis BYU. I remember that because
there was one last year. There was one last year between not Memphis.
Oh, yeah, there was one last year, yeah.
Mississippi State and Tulsa were playing, and there were fisticuffs where people took off their helmets and everything.
Well, when was that Michigan, also Ohio State game where a brawl broke out for a minute, too?
What was 2015, I think.
2015.
And, the guy flipped the Michigan crowd off.
Honestly, I hate Ohio State, but that was hilarious. Like, I can't even, the dude did not care. He did not care.
I saw someone say that if you decide that the smart thing to do is to try and punch someone wearing a helmet, you can either choose to be ejected or you have to take your helmet off and let the other guy punch you in the face without a helmet on.
Okay, that'll never happen.
And that's my point. But that's my point is like you can either make it allowed like they do in hockey. You can either make it allowed or you can make it not allowed. That's the point. Yeah. That's the whole thing. So they have to take it to that extent.
The NFL is one, maybe two actual fights every year, maybe less. Like, sure, you're gonna have shoving and stuff, but that's part of it. But it's not like you're gonna have actual punches thrown unless.
I'm not defending the rule because I'm not defending the rule because I do think at times it is extremely outrageous, and it's usually somebody staring at somebody while they're on the ground or something like that. It's ridiculous, but I understand why it's there. It's to prevent these fights. It's to prevent these injuries that have nothing to do with the actual sport. It's a sport at the end of the day.
I get it, but there is. Obviously, you have to be a limit, but that's no fun at all. Like, you can't make this no fun.
Right.
Like, you gotta let the guys have fun at the end of the day.
Now, the way I look at it, it's like unless you have an Ndamukong Suh type guy where he's kicking people in the helmets after plays and stuff like that, that should be to me taunting and something that you should get flagged for. But I mean, even when it comes to horns down, that's the whole fun of college football is.
The only flag if you do it towards the players, you can do it towards the crowd apparently.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's still stupid though.
Yeah,
and the same thing is if Georgia does the Gator chomp, like they get a flag for it because they're mocking Florida. They'll get a flag for that. I know that just from being being in that rivalry for a while. Now the
go ahead.
Let's move on.
So let's move on. We're gonna just briefly talk about it. Penn State losing, actually playing the longest game in Iowa in history. Yes, it was a snooze less and boring, but like I'm really gonna say this: Penn State, we thought you were better than this. You let us down. Sean Clifford being injured did not help.
He was playing injured the entire game.
Can we just move on to the next segment? Because I got some stuff I can say about that game.
Oh yeah, because you have him for your.
There, yeah.
The only thing
say this. I'll just go ahead and say this because I was the one that. Okay, but for people who didn't know, Coach Franklin was actually James Franklin, the coach at Penn State, at his presser on Wednesday was asked like where he was at, like with the USC or LSU job, if he's received calls on it. And this man says, okay, hey, like I'm not focused on anything else but playing a really tough game.
Was tired
on the road at the big house and playing a really good Illinois football team. Okay. To be fair, for having to sit back and watch that Illinois Penn State game, I'm pretty sure that would make anybody brain dead for at least a week. So,
But yeah, so that's really all right. Well, the recap did go longer, of course, than expected. Maybe something less. We're gonna move on to our next segment. This is one I kind of been looking forward to, and that is our top 4 teams.
And
right now, the playoff were to start today, and also the first 2 we would have out 5 and 6. This is, I think, very important now, especially. I mean, there's still a lot of games to be played, but I think there's also some you can say right now, like we can still kind of get a better understanding. I think the real question mark is letting the Big Ten East play out, because there's still like this weekend you got some huge games: Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, and then you still got Ohio State still got to play Michigan. They've still got to play Michigan State as well. So there's a lot of things that need to be played out in the Big Ten East. But besides that, I think we're getting a good picture really of who's going to get in. So
to be clear, this is not our predictions. This is who we have right this very moment as our top 6, because we're going to do the first 2 out as well. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So, Connor, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you.
Okay. Do you want me to do top 4 first, or the first 2 out first?
Go ahead and do top 4 first.
Okay. So I got Georgia, Cincy, Bama, and Ohio State. So obviously, if you look at it, that means that Oklahoma is not in the top 4. We've been ragging on them for a long time. And this week kind of confirmed that they are not a good team. Their talent level is just good enough to beat Kansas. But when you're down at halftime to Kansas, that's not a good look. They almost Texased it or Longhorned it.
They Soonered it.
Almost. They almost Soonered it. Yes, good point. So Georgia, despite whatever we say about their defense, best in the country. Cincy, I think, has earned I won't even say the benefit of the doubt. They're playing well enough that they should be number 2. And I would like to see them make it to break that, group of 5, the myth that they can't make it. Bama is still there. Obviously, they didn't drop too much after losing to Texas A&M, and with Texas A&M now being ranked, where are they? 14th. That's a good loss for them, I guess you could say. And if they matched up again, I would take them. I'd take Bama to win that. Ohio State, ever since they lost to Oregon, has been absolutely crushing teams. CJ Stroud looks like he's figured it out. And they have some good games coming up. Obviously, they're playing Penn State this week, right?
Yes.
So obviously, it's probably gonna be a slaughter with how Penn State looked this past weekend.
I will say one thing I think about that game going down to that will be how Sean Clifford's health is.
Yes.
If he's healthy, I think it could be a game, but obviously, yeah.
Yeah. And then first two, so obviously Ohio State, like I said, they're destroying teams, and then the first two out is I would put Oklahoma at 5. I still think who's dying? Is someone dying?
Jeez.
Ryan.
Jeez. Ryan's dying. Call a medic.
Oh God.
Don't worry, I have some defibrillators that can bring you back to life. Battlefield. So Oklahoma, like I said, they don't deserve to be in the top 4 right now. Caleb Williams is having some magic, but I don't know. It's just like they just can't seem to figure it out, and the fact that they don't have their quarterback inconsistency, I think, is what Blake or someone mentioned in their show last night. The fact that it's not that they're switching the quarterbacks out, it's that they're both inconsistent at times. And Caleb Williams, I'm just waiting for him to start making some freshman mistakes. And then number 6, I'd actually put is Oregon, Lucas. I think if they keep winning, that win over Ohio State will help them. But as I said a long time ago, their offense is what's going to hold them back. Anthony Brown is mistake prone. And, having to come back against, UCLA or whoever they played this past weekend, being down at first, they look like they still haven't fully figured it out either. So I got Georgia, Cincy, Bama, Ohio State, and then Oklahoma and Oregon is my top 6.
Ivermectin.
and I think the biggest thing that I'm waiting for is what's going to happen with Michigan State this weekend. Whoever wins that game, I think, could have a justifiable chance to get inside the top 6, if not the top 4, if someone loses this weekend. If somehow Penn State pulls something off and they beat Ohio State, then I think they could jump into the top 4, but we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm. All right, who's next? Me?
Yeah, it's up to you now, Lucas.
All righty. Okay, so for me, I have number 1, Georgia. There's not enough that can be said about how good this team is. Number 2, I have Alabama actually jumping Cincinnati. And the reason for it is it took a lot for them to come back and actually end up dominating that Tennessee team. And like Connor mentioned, that Texas A&M game looks a lot better for them now because Texas A&M is actually playing a lot better than they did towards the beginning of the season. So it comes down to one of those. It's just hard to not put Bama in that top 2. Number 3, Cincinnati. Their schedule speaks for itself. I mean, they've actually beat some decent teams, and they're going to end up playing an, I think, undefeated SMU, which is going to be a really good game for them. I did like, and I think also Connor mentioned this in our chat a few days ago, is that Cincinnati actually had a ball game on their hands last week, and they came out there and they won the game. It was kind of curious to how they would do against or in a game where they had some adversity and they came out there and they got the victory, which is really good to see for them. Number 4, I have Michigan. I know that I've been really high on Michigan lately, and throughout the rest of the season, I'm going to be really high on them until they lose. So got to put Michigan in the top 4 just because I think they look really good, but it's kind of a toss-up between them and my number 5 team, and that's Ohio State. I put Michigan above Ohio State only because of their record. Although Ohio State's one loss right now is looking like it was a pretty good loss. I still have to put Michigan in front of them just because of that loss. Then at number 6, I have Oregon as well. I don't have Oklahoma in my top 6. I have them at my number 7 right now, and it's not necessarily because of their performance against Kansas. I know Oregon had a really tough game against California, but that isn't a very good team. But it was mostly because of that inconsistency at quarterback, and who knows what's going to happen once if Caleb Williams gets in a game like he just had against an actual good opponent like Oklahoma State. Who knows if they're going to be able to make that comeback or do anything that they did against Kansas this past weekend. But Oregon looks good. They finally opened their playbook a little bit. Joe Moorhead did significantly better than he has done all season at calling plays. Really, really opened it up for Anthony Brown, throwing these screen passes, and I think it helped him a lot. Towards the end, they got a little too aggressive, and Mario Cristobal actually talked about this in his post-game press conference. They got a little too aggressive at the end and caused a couple of those interceptions. Obviously, it's the quarterback's fault, but got a little too aggressive and almost cost them the game. But I think they pretty much handled probably the best team that they played all season, other than Ohio State. So it was the only other game that I was worried about. So, and they got the victory, and now they're moving on.
Should be worried about Oregon State, but
no.
All right. Well, Ryan's now probably wacky. I'm going to assume top 4. But
actually, it's not that wacky. Believe it or
Number
not.
1, Notre Dame.
That's what we got. Notre Dame's
We're not even close to a top 8 team right now.
Top 10.
I'm glad you're being
Wow, Ryan actually.
Ryan is showing character growth. He's willing to admit when his team sucks.
Wow. All right, Ryan. Well, give us your top 4 then, buddy.
So my top 6 actually. Let's start off with Georgia. I'm pretty sure everybody has Georgia at number 1. Enough said. Best defense in the country. They will be tested again, I think, pretty much against this Tennessee team. However, I think Tennessee will Tennessee again. But then you got Cincinnati number 2. I am really now kind of iffy about the Cincinnati team, because now that I think they played Notre Dame at the perfect time, because I don't think Notre Dame had things figured out. I think if they were to play again, I still think Notre Dame would win. And also the fact how they played against a Navy team that is
was 1-6.
Yeah, probably worse than Kansas.
I'd still take Navy to beat Kansas, though.
But I mean,
that's not saying much, though, Connor.
No, it's not.
But I mean, it's just I don't know what to think about the Cincinnati team, because they're the only reason they're number 2 right now is that win against Notre Dame, and Notre Dame hasn't really played anybody. And again, I don't know how you guys feel, but I do think that if they played again, Notre Dame, with how they figured things out with Cohen, with the quick tempo offense.
Oh my God! Who?
But anyway, Andrew, since I'm annoying you, number 3 is going to be
Bama. Your
Bama.
excuses, that's all.
Number 3 is going to be Alabama. I still think they're the best team in the country. I just have no reason to put them at number 1 yet until they play Georgia. And then for number 4, I actually have Michigan State at number 4. I think they're the better out of them and Michigan. I do think, I'll say this right now, I think as of right now, Ohio State is the better team. The reason I'm not going to punish Michigan State is because they don't have a loss. And I think they're more complete on both sides of the ball than Michigan. So I've got Michigan State at number 4. Number 5 for me is Ohio State. Like I said, I think they're the better than Michigan State. But that one loss to Oregon, and Oregon has not performed very well since that loss. And it's not helping Ohio State any. That's why I have them at number 5. And then at number 6, I have Michigan. So 3 Big Ten teams back to back to back. And the next few weeks we'll kind of all separate. They'll all separate each other, and we'll realize who the pretenders are and who the real contenders are. And then I've just got sorry, Lucas, I've got Oregon at 7 and Oklahoma at 8. Just kind of sitting there left out.
Oklahoma at 8. That's crazy. But also the AP poll agrees with you. Oregon is number 7. So
no, I mean, I think that honestly, Ryan, is fair. I've actually.
I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I like
crazy.
The
Michigan State. I like the Michigan State at 4. That's actually very.
I like it too. I would.
Not necessarily agree with it, but I like it. I can respect it. Not necessarily who I pick, but I respect it 100%. But all right, I guess we gotta go with the last ones here.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I did forget about that.
Caleb Williams when he.
Well, we can have a.
That was
Andrew. Go ahead and give your top 6, and then we'll go in on that.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so my number 1 obviously is Georgia. I think they're the best team in the country right now still. And once JT Daniels, if he stays healthy, no one's going to touch him. 2, I actually have Alabama. I said after that loss to Texas A&M that whoever has to play Alabama in the regular season, good luck. And I stand by that. And they've really woken up. Defense is making plays. I mean, what they had, I don't know if it was a pick 6, but they had a couple of huge interceptions against Tennessee that really helped turn the game open, in my opinion. 3, I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is a good football team. I really do. I like the Desmond Ridder 100%. He is a good quarterback, and he loves to quiet opposing teams' fans. Sorry, I had to throw shade there, Ryan. All love. But I think Cincinnati is actually a very complete team. I will say that loss to Navy is a bit of concern, but I will say also it is the triple option, and we did say that's the hardest offense to defend. Yes, they do play every yearly, but even then, still.
Desmond Ridder didn't hush that Navy crowd, did he?
Well, he beat them, so.
When the most people there is the midshipmen, there's not much of a crowd to have to silence.
Yeah. Yeah. 4, I'm going to go with Michigan. Lucas is really kind of.
Cosper's looking at my notes.
No, I'm not. No, I actually had this written down. Actually, Lucas, the more I've watched them, they're so fun to watch on defense, for one. And I think they're getting better offensively in the passing game. Obviously, we know they're a run-first team under Jim Harbaugh. But I do think they are right now the best team in the Big Ten. I mean, credit. They have not really played anybody in the Big Ten good. We're going to really find out how good they are this week at Michigan State. This is huge. Also, I got my boy Victor's Valet from YouTube. I'm sure you guys have seen his highlights before on there of games. He is going to be at that game day. I actually gave him some info on how to do it since, of course, now I've been on game day twice. Yes, I'm not flexing that, but I am flexing it. But I think Michigan overall is a very complete team. Obviously, the weak spot is the passing game. But I think it's definitely gotten better as the year has gone on. 5, I'm going to go Ohio State. Really, ever since that Tulsa game, they've woken up defensively. Now, credit, they really haven't played anybody worth poop since then. I feel like that's just me, though. I really do want to see them play. They're playing Penn State this week. I want to see how the Penn State defense is because I want to see if Sean Clifford can be healthy because even then, I'm still going to be I don't know. I feel like this Penn State team is not what it was early on in the season, which is very disappointing. And then 6, I'm going to go Oregon. They've been shaky at times, not going to lie. And that's especially over the last couple of weeks. But that win again at UCLA is a big win. Honestly, if you would have thought that after the way they played the 2 weeks prior, that they were going to win at UCLA, probably a lot of people would have said no. So I think that's still a big win. Yeah, they didn't really blow them out. But
do you think if they have DTR on that final drive that UCLA wins that game?
No. Kayvon comes in. Thibodeau.
I think he does.
No. We saw what happened last time when someone tried to win at Oregon on the final drive in Cal.
What happened when Stanford had the final drive?
Okay, since then
99.9.
Terrible. No, I mean.
But to be fair, they did not have Kayvon at the end of that drive.
Whose fault was that? That was Kayvon's fault.
No, it was soft call.
Didn't have Kayvon, and also, I mean, there was a very questionable pass interference call.
Yes,
so they 100%. gave him a free play.
But I do think though,
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, we're not discussing though is the fact that DTR was on fire. I mean, after the defense had gotten 2 straight interceptions. If he's not hurt, I think DTR drives down the field. I mean, it's at UCLA, and they had momentum. If you don't have to put in a backup quarterback, I think DTR easily goes down against that Oregon defense.
Well, their defense was dominating them. Since after they were up 14-0, the defense was dominating them the entire game. It was just that Anthony Brown gave them the ball 2 times. And as I mentioned before, and Mario Cristobal mentioned, they were getting too aggressive, and they wanted to really put the dagger in them, but it just they didn't. I mean, have the players to do that, and so
also that UCLA defense gave up so many first downs on that drive, like those drives with like dumb, either like a holding call or like a offsides call, and I'm just like, you do it one time, that's fine. You do it a second time, okay, and then a third, fourth, fifth time, it's like, how many more chances are you going to give Oregon to?
Like, I mean, the one on the goal line, dude, I don't know how he did the same thing twice. It was like we were watching a replay.
Yes.
I guess.
I agree. No, I think we should, because we're already almost at an hour with this.
He's wearing an Orioles hat, so he's salty.
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm salty?
I don't know. Just wearing an Orioles hat makes you look bad.
Well, I would say that maybe if you're a Red Sox fan and you blew it against the Astros.
Hey, at least we made it that far. At least we got to the playoffs. What did the Orioles have, like 19 wins?
All right, I don't know. We swept you guys in Boston, so I mean
the Cardinals made the playoffs.
Sorry I said anything.
Gotta play the shut up meme.
Yes, we need that right now. Okay, sorry. All right, now it's time.
No, I'm an Astros fan. All right, Coster, you hear that?
So you are part of the scum of the earth, and literally everyone else in America besides the state of Texas hates you?
Nope. It was like Delaware, I'm pretty sure. Or something.
Oh, Delaware.
So you're a cheater. Delaware.
He's a fan of the Houston Cheetos, as we like to call them. But hey, go Braves. They won the first game in Houston. So that's huge.
So
and
one now.
Yeah, I was gonna go to a game this weekend in the World Series, but tickets are literally going for as low as high, or the lowest ticket I think is like $1.2 grand.
Troy's really about to beat Coastal Carolina. This is gonna happen.
Why?
Okay. No. Here's the question, Lucas. Do you feel it in your balls? That's what you said last time.
To be honest, no.
Okay. No.
Whatever tiny amount of money you make from this has just been demonetized from this stream for that.
What was that game?
No, because when we made those memes about Moorhead, they didn't get demonetized.
So. Oh, that was the Oklahoma versus Texas game that I said that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I still got to come top your balls off.
And Andrew got mad at you for saying I still think Oklahoma's going to come back and win.
And I said if they win, your balls are getting chopped off. They're still getting chopped off.
That's so funny.
But all right. Anyway, it's time for our regrets of the week. This is where we go back.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is where we make our pick. From our pick'ems, we made a pick, and obviously it wasn't right, so it's our regret. I'm gonna go ahead and start off mine. I originally was the only one to pick Ole Miss, and then Lucas made it sound like Corral wasn't gonna play. He screwed me.
Didn't Ryan look it up and he said he was questionable?
I was the one who took Ole Miss. All of you took LSU.
Well, I was originally going to take Ole Miss, and then once I heard that about Corral not playing, I took LSU.
And then Matt Corral played.
Yeah, I know.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
I know.
You did play yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Well, if you're going to blame somebody, blame Connor, because he was the one that mentioned it.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. You did mention it.
I did mention that. Reverse psychology, you guys.
But anyway, yeah.
Reverse psychology, you guys.
I'll go second because mine's the same. It's LSU. And it was for the same reason. I thought that Corral wasn't going to play, and Connor's fault.
Yeah, it's Connor's fault.
Wait, hey, Lucas, let me ask you this: when you picked LSU, did you feel it in your balls?
No,
dude, you can't abuse the joke.
No. But I thought LSU was
it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, it's a one-time joke.
I thought that Max Johnson was actually decent, but he's not good at all. He's terrible.
Bro, they're so bad. LSU's so bad.
Yeah.
Like Clemson's having a bad year, but man, at least we're not LSU bad. At least we are good on one side of the ball.
My
regret of the week is picking UCLA, even though I think if DTR is on the field, they win that game. So anyway.
Oh my God, who the hell?
So basically, it's just me picking UCLA because I didn't foresee DTR getting hurt in the fourth quarter.
And mine was trusting VT not to rip my heart out because I picked them. So yeah. So I mean, Coster tricked me. No, I tricked Coster. He tricked me because he said take Virginia Tech, and then because I thought he was going to take Virginia Tech, and he's like, and then all of you took Syracuse, and I was like, well, crap. I don't know.
Wait, I thought we all took the Qs. I thought I could have.
No, he said he was going to take. He told me in the right before the show when we were waiting for you guys to show up. He's like, yeah, I'm going to take Virginia Tech. So I'm like, who should I take? So I couldn't decide. He's like, take Virginia Tech. I'm taking them. And then in the show, he's like,
I forgot I did that. To be fair, I forgot I did that.
Because I literally had Syracuse right now, and I crossed it out. I decided to take Virginia Tech, and I was looking good until they yet again surrendered another 9 points in the final 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
and have all but solidified Justin Fuente as being a dead man walking at this point. So
I'll go in on him. Don't worry.
I know for a fact you guys are all going in on Virginia Tech this week.
I got you.
Which is hilarious. Which is kind of funny because it's not even like the worst thing that's happened to them this year.
Yeah.
So
it's just the expectation.
I'm kind of glad we weren't doing the show last year. I know for a fact you guys would have gone in on them for that Liberty loss last year.
Well, no, it's Virginia Tech's fault for beating North Carolina. This would have nobody would have cared if they would have lost to North Carolina.
Or can you blame North Carolina for being overhyped?
I don't know, but
whose fault is it? It's both.
I mean, see, Virginia Tech's just kind of like that kid that like it just sits in the corner and nobody picks on until like they speak, but then they never end up speaking because they have no like. I don't know.
I don't know where you're going.
That ain't it, Chief.
Can you just mute him for a little bit there?
How about I just do this? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's mean. All right, but now it's time for, of course, our stunners and bummers. Our stunners, of course, are our guys who we basically are players of the week, and our bummers are basically our frauds or bums of the week. Connor, you can go ahead and let's start with you.
My stunner is Sam Hartman in the Wake Forest offense. Where is it? 638 total yards of offense. Sam Hartman had 458 yards passing on 23 of 29 completions. So 23 completions. He had 5 touchdowns. They had 4 rushing touchdowns. And they scored 63 points in just 17 minutes and 17 seconds of holding the ball because Army, holds the ball for an eternity, obviously, with that triple option. That Wake Forest offense is ballistic in how quickly it can score right now with Sam Hartman. And I would actually love to see Wake Forest go up against some of these top teams inside the top 10. They're at 13. I would love to see them go against, maybe an Alabama or something. You could have a fireworks show with the fact that Alabama's defense is not the best right now. And then my bummer was anyone who had to watch the overtime period of Illinois Penn State. And just that game in general.
Yeah, that game was abysmal.
I will say. Anyone who had to watch that game in general, I mean, it's the ineptitude of that game was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Illinois, let's put it this way. They had 395 total yards of offense. How many yards passing do you think they had?
No idea. Like 100?
Give me a guess.
75.
Ryan, 75. Ryan, what's your guess?
What was the guess for?
How many passing yards do you think Illinois had?
60.
Against Penn State. 60?
Yeah.
Lucas, what's your guess?
34.
Wow, you're close. 38. 38 yards passing for Illinois.
What do I win?
357 yards rushing. And then they decide in the overtime periods not to run the ball in the first, 7 2-point attempts. They're like, no, let's not pass at all. Let's pass. And then that's actually how they won the game was when they passed because they decided.
Did anybody notice though that both Penn State and Illinois used the Philly special in overtime?
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. They did. They both put a Philly special. Illinois scored on it, and Penn State didn't.
I do want to say something about the Philly special. That's not the Philly special. It was actually the Clemson special. Fun fact. And Philadelphia actually got that from Clemson when they played Georgia Tech back in 2012. So,
Taj Boyd.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Hopkins to Boyd. Yep.
I almost fell asleep
I
just
know that
listening to
one.
that.
So,
Okay, I almost fell asleep
Yeah.
watching Oregon play California.
but it was an absolute.
Hey, that was an exciting game from start to finish, all right?
No, it was snooze fest.
So that was
But-
an absolute Illinois Penn State. Anyone who had to watch that game, I forced myself to watch that game because I was like, oh, it's going to overtime. And then I watched it took another half an hour just to go through the 9 overtimes, which I think it's totally wrong that they are going to the 2-point conversion attempts after the third overtime.
I agree.
They
Too
should have
early.
kept. It used to be after the fourth, starting in the fifth. And that's when
Yeah.
UNC Virginia Tech back in 2019 was the first game that was decided by that.
No, I like that.
But and I mean, both teams have scored. Like, I like it when I want to see more LSU, Texas A&M 7 overtimes where they score more points in overtime than they do in the regular game. But when Penn State has 227 total yards of offense and Illinois cannot pass, literally anytime they pass the ball, it hit the ground probably. They probably could have spiked the ball into the ground and they'd have a better passing offense than they did in this game. So anyone who had to watch that, I feel sorry for you, and I also feel sorry for myself for forcing myself to watch that.
Yeah, I did not watch that with good reason. All right, Lucas, up to you.
So we actually had to watch that game as Oregon fans if you didn't have ESPN3. Unfortunately, we had to watch the end of that, but
Did you have to?
yes, yeah, so it's kind of sad. Well, I have ESPN3, so I don't have to worry about it. But stunner of the week is Travis Dye, and it's not really for the stats because the statistics weren't crazy. He had 14 carries for only 35 yards and four catches for 36 yards.
That's terrible.
What is crazy is that he broke the NCAA record for most touchdowns on consecutive carries, which is 4 straight carries, 4 straight touchdowns. That is why he is my stunner of the week, because he broke an NCAA record. Not much more to say about that.
What are the plays? Well, how many yards on those plays?
Well, he had 14 carries and 35 yards, so I think you can kind of do the math there.
Yeah.
Oh,
it wasn't a lot.
And most of that wasn't that on that.
So it's like Oregon just gets down to the 2-yard line and hands it off, and he just scores, and that counts as a consecutive carry because he didn't touch the ball all the rest of the previous drive. Okay.
Yep.
Basically, just an old
that's
fullback
such
guy.
like such a hidden record.
Yeah.
Like I would have never thought that. You know what I mean?
Well, because I think so. The previous record was 3, and I'm guessing I don't know if it was carries or if it was just touches in general. Other than a quarterback throwing, it's still. I mean, throwing 4 consecutive touchdowns on 4 consecutive plays is like unheard of. That would never happen. But yeah, so that's the only reason why he's my stunner this week, because he did break an NCAA record. My bummer of the week is Marcus Arroyo, the head coach for UNLV. And the reason why he's my bummer of the week is because
Tate Martell. He's at UNLV.
and I think he's hurt. But the reason why Marcus Arroyo is my bummer of the week, he is 0-7. It's more so my bummer of the season. He is 0-7 currently with UNLV. After he pretty much ruined all of our Oregon's chances to go to the college football playoff in 2019, because he was a terrible offensive coordinator, absolutely awful, and ended up leaving. I'm sure he's a great guy, but was not a very good play caller, and I think it really hurt us, especially in that Arizona State game. So, he is the bummer, and also they were winning 17-3 at one point in this last game against San Jose State, and ended up losing 27-20. And I believe most of his games this year have been decided within 8 points, which is really funny, and I think he deserves it because he ruined our chances.
Yeah.
single tear rolls down Lucas's cheek.
We're still Rose Bowl champs,
Yeah.
so it's okay.
All right, Ryan, it's up to you now, buddy.
All right, so my stunner of the week is going to be Kyron Williams. Lucas has been getting on him all.
The Notre Dame player.
Oh,
Hey, you know what? I've only done a Notre Dame player. This is the first time.
Please.
But anyway, Lucas has been getting on Kyron for not having an O-line and saying he's trash all year.
He is trash.
When he has to break like 2 or 3 tackles just to get back to the line of scrimmage or get 2 yards. But we finally are figuring out this O-line at Notre Dame. We started this one of our other true freshmen, 5-star guys we got on the O-line. And he actually has been doing really well the last 2 weeks on the left side. And Kyron was able to actually get running lanes and go off this year for once. I mean, he had 25 carries for 138 yards, 5.5 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. Man is just a beast when you can block for him, and he doesn't have 3 guys to make him miss to get 2 yards. And I think he's one of the most underrated running backs in college football. And then for my bummer, I'm sorry to do this to you again, Connor. I know we've been dogging on Virginia Tech a lot this show, but the Virginia Tech defense, I know,
which is really annoying. Sorry for interrupting, but our defense was one of the bright spots before this game. This was, I will say that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt before you really got started.
Oh no, you're good. But no, just looking at this defense. I mean, what? How many times on the show we dogged on their offense? The offense wasn't the issue this game.
Wait,
no, actually it was going well. I would have, if we had won, I would have had my stunner would have been Malachi Thomas, who was a freshman running back who scored 3 rushing touchdowns and had over 170 yards rushing. If we had won the game, I probably could have still taken him, but I would have been sad talking about that.
I mean, but it's just how ironic that we've been talking about the offense all season, and then you play Syracuse, and the offense isn't the issue, but now the defense is just playing like complete dog doo-doo. I mean, when you give up
the second coming of Eric Dungy, that's what happened.
I mean,
it really is.
The beard.
No, that's exactly what happened, because we lost to Syracuse in 2016 when we made the ACC championship game, and that was the one loss I could not understand how we lost that game.
Oh yeah, y'all lost to them the week before they played Clemson. I remember, I think Clemson beat them the next week. And
then you lost to Syracuse. Didn't you lose to Syracuse that year, or was that the year?
No, that year we beat them like 55-0. It was
we lost to them we lost to them at the Carrier Dome.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be an interesting game," and then we just tore out of them. But yeah.
But I mean, this guy Strader, not only is his beard amazing, but I mean, he is actually a pretty decent quarterback for Syracuse.
He is.
I mean, he had 174 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and then on top of that, passed for 236 yards with 2 more tutties. And then
how is he not your stunner? He could have been someone's stunner this week.
It is.
That's why I went for the bummer, so I could talk about him
Fair enough.
But then also on top of that, you let that quarterback basically go for 400 yards of total offense, and then
stop stealing my guys.
I let Sean
my guy's mojo.
Sean Tucker going for 112 yards himself, and a touchdown as well. So that's 500 yards of total offense from just the quarterback and the running back.
Well, I mean, those are who you're usually going to get it from. I don't know who else you're getting from unless you're having wide receivers on the ball.
Okay, Andrew. Okay. You know what?
I'm just saying. I don't understand why. I don't know who else unless they're doing a bunch of wide receiver jet sweeps. And then I've seen Syracuse play. They really don't do that for the most part. But anyway, okay. We'll give it. All right. I'm going to leave this to me now. All right. So for me, my stunner, as Ryan alluded to already and stole my thunder. Boo. Garrett Strader from Syracuse. Yes, I did. He went 16 to 34 for 236 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then 22 carries for 174 yards and 3 touchdowns. So 5 total touchdowns. Very impressive by Strader. especially that throw he made at the end. I mean, I will say at the end that throw he made, his receiver did kind of bail him out on the catch. I mean, but overall, still Strader's played very well, and he got blasted on that play. So the fact that he was able to make that throw at all was impressive. My bummers of the week are these stinking Clemson QBs, bro. I don't, man. I don't even know what to say about.
How do you say the
DJ.
backup's name? How do you say
it? Tyson Pumachow.
Tyson Pumachow?
Yeah. To be fair with Tyson, though, I will say he was coming off a torn Achilles that he had in the spring. So, yeah. But he's played. I mean, he's never was that good. But like, man,
didn't DJ get benched in that Pitt game for a little bit?
No, he did after he gave up that second pick on the freaking shuffle pass. And it's so annoying because you go back to this game, Clemson easily could have won this game. They literally just beat themselves so many times in this game. I mean, that like giving up a pick six on a freaking shovel pass like that.
How does that even happen?
That's our offense this year. Because
was it a D lineman and a linebacker that picked
no, it was a linebacker. I'm back and watched it. Yeah, no, but I mean, they had also a drop. But I will say for DJ, for some of this game, I'm not going to blame it all on him because he did have some drops. Like Clemson's had a lot of drops this year, and they had one this game where by Will Shipley where he could have literally ran in the end zone for a touchdown. They would have had a 14-0 lead or a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, it was 14-0.
Yeah, but just really sums up our offense this year, and thankfully we have the number one quarterback for next year, and I wish we had him right now.
I will say, one of the top recruits, I think he's going to end up being the number one recruit in the country, at least for quarterbacks. In the class of 2026, Julian Lewis is going to be at your game this weekend.
Oh, wow. So him and Arch Manning.
If you guys are impressive this next week, I mean, you could land
Manning,
some
who else
real. Julian Lewis. You guys can look him up on Instagram. I mean, this kid's a stud. I've been following him.
Who does Clemson play this week?
Florida State.
Oh, you guys should.
No, it's at Clemson. We're gonna win.
Okay, if Florida State beats Clemson, I mean,
man.
All
I know is the only thing I will be okay with that is the Braves win the World Series, and at that point, by all means, I do not care. If the Braves win that day and go up potentially 3-1, I will be okay with that. But yeah. So
you know what's crazy for how bad Florida State's been? They got 2 5-stars for next year.
The number one recruit in the country.
Yeah. No, I mean they're on a 3-game winning streak. I mean, I think you just the thing with Florida State, I said give it time, and we've seen it this year already. As bad as they looked early on in the year, they're on a 3-game win streak. But I will say, I think with it being at Clemson, I'm sorry, it's going to come to an end. But yeah, that is our stunners and bummers of the week. And now it is time for the meme teams of the week.
We need our own special intro segment just for this.
What?
We need our own special intro segment intro to this segment, and it just shows a bunch of previous memes and stuff.
All the previous memes.
Memes. Or something.
I agree 100%. Even though I've deleted some of those, which is annoying.
Hey, Andrew, I got a quick question, really quick.
What?
Has there been anything about DJ maybe transferring after this year?
No.
Okay.
DJ's not going to leave.
Would you take Spencer Rattler, or would you take DJ or Spencer Rattler?
DJ. Spencer Rattler's a douchebag.
DJ almost went to Oregon.
Damn, I wish he had.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't. No, I think he would run our offense way better than yours. I think he would look way better. In the pistol offense, he would look way better.
Again, I'm going to say this, like DJ wasn't all to blame for this past week, and I still think Tony Elliott is a god-awful offense coordinator, so that's what I'm partly blaming it on.
I don't think that he knows how to use DJ's strengths, to be
honest.
No,
he doesn't, 100%. And Dabo trying to defend Tony Elliott, if he has his job at the end of the year and we don't get over 20 points in a game, I don't care what our record is, get him out.
Well, do you think that, honestly, though, you think not Andrew. Do you think Dabo would be willing to start a true freshman 5-star over DJ if it continues like this?
I mean, he
season?
did that literally after Kelly Bryant took Clemson to the playoff the year before with Trevor Lawrence. So 100% he will do that.
So why don't you think DJ would then transfer if he especially if he knows?
Well, at that point, we don't know. Who knows? Maybe he has a great offseason. At the end of the year, I'm not gonna. There's too much uncertainty still. I mean, we've seen DJ when he can be when he's good. Like he's had his moments. But yeah. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of that though. What?
You got the memes ready?
Yeah, I do have the memes ready actually. And Connor, yours, my man, is up first.
So mine is Penn State. Brace yourself for Penn State loss excuses. I mean, yeah, but yeah, Penn State. I think it's more just the memes of the 9 overtimes that have come from this, because there's been quite a lot of stuff on Twitter, memes going around reacting to that. And obviously they were absolutely inept on offense. Illinois wasn't much better, at least passing the ball. So yeah, Penn State was my meme team of the week.
And deservingly so.
Yep.
Okay, and that means Lucas, you are up next, my guy.
Okay, so all right, so I don't want to go in on BT too much, but in case for you people who do not know, this is a picture of Garrett Schrader and Justin Fuente.
Justin's eyeing that W like he wants to have a cheeseburger. He's eyeing that.
So it's
no. That's the look. Justin Fuente's look. It looks like the look he makes when he's asked why Cornelison has not been fired. There's nothing there.
Right.
You can't come up with a good excuse, and he's just
Jesus Christ, Lions having a freaking heart attack over there, dude. This man literally gonna.
I just got that freaking commercial playing in my head now because.
I got you $1. You gotta be quick. I got you $1.
So they had to be my meme team because I mean they got scored on with basically a Hail Mary with 19 seconds left.
Whoops.
Apologies. Basically a Hail Mary with 19 seconds left, and so that's just like, I mean, basically this exact meme. Like Schrader was like almost had it, but this is my dub. This is my dub, and I'm taking it. So
honestly, even if we had won this game, I don't know how much people would have been happy about that. I would have been.
Yeah, I don't know. A win's a win. So I will say, I will point out to our viewers, I do make my own memes. So
yeah,
this is not something I found.
By that face from last week's meme.
Yeah, we all need to start making our own memes. I'm sorry, and this is
it's very easy to make them on Snapchat, so you can just cut the faces, put them on anything. So it's very easy to make them. It's pretty funny. You just gotta find their own.
All right, Ryan, you are up next, my guy.
All right, so so my mean team of the week is NC State. They just lost to a Miami team that is god awful. We did say this game could be close, but I thought the NC State was the second best team, or not second best, third best team in the ACC. They're still better than Clemson, but that's not saying much.
If it's at Clemson, Clemson wins that game. I'm telling you right now.
But anyway, when it comes to NC State, one of the reasons I took them for my meme team this week, if they just would have won, it would have made it almost statistically impossible for Clemson to win the ACC. And
we're not winning the ACC.
All
anyway.
Clemson needs now is for NC State to beat Wake and to Wake drop another game, and Clemson beat Wake Forest and they're in. So
NC State's got to lose one more. They only have one loss in conference play.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, but I mean, if Wake beats NC State, how does that work?
Okay.
Clemson has two.
Wake needs to lose. Blake needs to lose twice.
That's what I said, though. I said if Wake beats NC State.
Oh, I thought you said NC State beats Wake.
No, I said if Wake beats NC State and then Wake, you beat Wake and then Wake drops another game, Clemson gets in. So that's where I'm like,
that's a big if. If we manage to win the ACC, bro,
or even just make the championship game.
I will say, I hope
the championship. That's just to win the division, not to win the actual championship.
Yeah, still. I mean, and then we have to face Pitt again, but I think we can avenge them. Because honestly, I think overall that game we just beat ourselves, but that's besides the point.
But I mean, all NC State had to do was just handle business against Miami. They couldn't do that, so.
I mean, I told you I almost picked Miami. I should have. You know,
I mean,
Miami's better than.
I love the Wolf, but it's just.
Can we talk about though? Did y'all see Miami's? We're not going to do uniforms of the week. It's too late now for that. We ran too much time. But can we talk about those for a minute? Those uniforms, those blackout uniforms they have in Miami, those are amazing.
I mean, we have time. Just go quick.
No, we're not doing it because I don't have any pictures from anyone because y'all don't send me.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting we gotta send pictures.
Mother trucker, you don't got Google?
Yeah, I do, but I'm already trying to do other stuff here. Man, I can't do everything. But anyway.
Why? It's your show.
Dang.
Now it's my show. Okay.
To be fair,
Connor, you're not hosting anymore, man.
No.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Bro, why would you? You literally, all the people say that. Connor,
to be fair, though, I was the one that came up with this idea, and we just kind of forced Andrew to be host. So
Well, it's because
I like being host. I like being host. I get to tell you, I get to kick y'all up. Y'all annoy me. So,
all right, let's move on.
Yeah. Last but not least, Oklahoma State.
Brian
Good
Jordan's
old
never
Oklahoma
not going to be
State.
funny.
No, it's never not. Oh man, I'm sorry, but they did this to themselves. I mean, I saw it coming. I said
I was hoping for an undefeated Bedlam to happen, but Oklahoma State just had to destroy my dream.
I'm not gonna lie. Oklahoma State was going into last week. I think was even more overrated as far as undefeated teams go than even Oklahoma.
With Oklahoma State losing, can Texas still make the Big 12 championship?
They have 3 losses.
Okay,
aren't one of them only in
two in conference play. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they can still get in. They just need Oklahoma State to lose.
That's not going to happen. They need to beat Iowa State too. That's another big thing. So it's not like that's a done deal. But yeah, that's a good teams of the week. We were going to do uniforms, but screw that. No, we don't have time for that. It's pick'em time.
This is the earliest we've gotten to pick'ems before.
Yes.
Let's not take an hour to do pick'ems this time. We usually take
Ryan.
an hour.
We probably
I'm usually quick. I don't know what you're doing.
not.
Yes, I am.
What? Bro, you are usually the slowest.
Lucas is usually the slowest one.
No.
Yeah.
He's the second slowest. You're the
because I'm not trying to look dumb and I
fastest.
actually make smart decisions.
All right,
Lucas,
but can we also, Ryan, scorekeeper? Let's get a score run down here, starting from last to first.
So, can I get a drum roll, please? All right. So, we have a new leader for the Week 0 podcast Pick'ems rankings. With 75, Andrew Costner is now the new leader.
How many times do I have to tell you I am not related to Kevin Costner?
I keep saying that you're like that.
Ryan wants to see you walk out of a cornfield and throw a baseball.
I do love that game. I do love that the MLB actually makes that a game now, but no. Like I like as cool as that would be, they're never gonna pick me. I like baseball, but I don't like baseball like that. But yeah, anyway. But hey, we're winning. Hey, I'm in first place though, so.
You know what's crazy? In the span of 2 weeks, Andrew went from last place to first.
First to first. Hell yeah.
So in second place, Connor, he's had a bad 2 weeks. So he's dropped with 74. He's in second.
What was my lead before 2 weeks
ago? At one point, I think it was high as like 4 points.
You were ahead by 4 picks at one point.
4 or 5 picks.
Yeah.
Before. Not last week before. I did blow it. Because
Connor's out here longhorning.
I decided to get a little ballsy with some.
Yeah, he is longhorning.
Yeah, I was the only one that decided to pick like Army and Oklahoma State and all those guys. They had worked out for me before.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
They only worked for you so many times, my friend.
At least it was going to pick Ole Miss.
Yeah.
All right. So in third place, good old Lucas McKnight with 70.
Excellent.
And then you're
Another
last.
Not much to say about it.
And
so-
last
I'll be at the
is
top.
Ryan.
But not least,
No, definitely
Definitely least.
Yeah, definitely least.
with 68, not even in the 70s yet.
Wow.
Bruh.
It's because he
Damn.
keeps betting against Oregon.
Hey, you know what? It's going to work out. It's already worked out once. It's going to keep working out.
Okay, let's get the pickups going.
All right, guys, it is pick'em time, and of course, as always, you can feel free to comment who you think's going to win in the chat. We are always welcome
Which means
to see your picks.
Joshua usually is the only one that comments.
Okay, you know what? Well, other people who are watching, feel free to put your picks. We are not going to judge you. Everyone has the right to their picks. We're going to start off with an interesting game here. The 6-1 UTEP Miners at Florida Atlantic.
Well, UTEP is what used to be known as Texas Southern, who beat Kentucky in the.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they used to be Texas Southern, who were the first team to start an all-black starting lineup in the national championship game of basketball, national championship game against an all-white Kentucky team. And they won that game. And so for that reason, I'm going with UTEP. And also because Florida Atlantic should have gone with Florida International to the American, but didn't because they're wusses. So go Miners.
No, it's the other way around. FAU is going.
Oh, FAU is going.
not.
FIU is not going. Sorry, whatever. But still, go Miners. Not those type of Miners, though, but go Miners.
That makes it sound way worse when you say it like that.
Connor likes Miners. That's all I heard. I'm going with FAU in this one because I think they're a little bit more battle tested. They played a few better teams, so I think they're more battle tested, and they'll end up winning this game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with FAU in this game as well.
You're
You're
muted.
How'd you mute yourself?
It automatically did it. I
That's
did not mute
embarrassing.
myself.
Clearly,
That's embarrassing.
I'm not hearing your voice anymore.
Oh, darn. But, man, I've been going back and forth on this pick because I think UTEP is good, but Florida Atlantic in their losses they are 11-point favorites in this game, by the way. And they have
Florida Atlantic's 11-point favorites.
Yeah. Well, but I will say with Florida Atlantic, the thing is they've gotten blown out in a bunch of their losses, like 35-14 at Florida. Of course, I mean it's Florida but lost 31-7 to Air Force, and then lost 31-14 to UAB. Now, credit, they are coming off against a decent UNC Charlotte team. They beat them pretty good. So I guess for that reason, I'm just going to say they got the momentum right now. I mean, yeah, UTEP, they're 6-1, but I agree their record is very deceiving.
UTEP got blown out by Boise State 54-13.
Yeah, that's the thing. So for that reason, I'm going FAU. Louisville at NC State.
She's taking FAU.
She is actually driving on her way right now to Jacksonville for Georgia, Florida without me. I'm very upset.
She left
Your
you
girlfriend
behind?
left you.
Well, it was supposed to
Wow.
be a girls' weekend, and it ended up not being that way. So, and I could have still gone, but like tickets were like $250 and like that.
Bruh.
And also, yeah,
Bruh.
but I'm very sad about that.
See,
but,
that's why we need a boys' weekend.
That
Yeah.
sounds wrong.
yeah.
No, that's called a bachelor party.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
The bachelor
there you go. But yeah,
Yet
no,
again, I'm the only one that decided to take I'm the only one that took UTEP on that. And I'm taking, despite losing to Miami, I still like NC State. I think, I'm not sure if it was really a fluke, but they've just been playing better than Louisville. I mean, it's only a game difference, but Louisville's been kind of up and down. So I think at home, NC State will be able to right the ship and get the win.
Yeah, I agree. NC State's going to win.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with Louisville in this game.
Ooh.
After watching how NC State performed against Miami on the road, I think just as we had said that UTEP's record was kind of deceiving, Louisville's record is very deceiving as well. A lot of their games they should have won. but it gave it up in the final seconds. And I think Louisville's a lot better than what people give them credit for. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cards.
I agree with that, but I agree that they could arguably only have one loss right now. I think they lost by 3 to Wake and then by 1 to Virginia. But here's this interest. So here's the stat though for NC State: undefeated at home. Their 2 losses on the road. I'm going to NC State. I think it's just in Raleigh. It's that is a tough place to play. I hate their fan base though; they're obnoxiously annoying.
They're actually pretty nice. When they came to Notre Dame, they're nice.
Nah, maybe it's just because of Clemson. Because usually we own them. They finally beat us. I don't know. But besides the point, I'm going with NC State at home. Purdue at Nebraska. Nebraska is due for a win. They've looked their record again very deceiving.
Yeah, I went back and forth on this, and after Purdue beat Iowa and then got ranked at 25 and then immediately lost to Wisconsin, who put up 30 on them, and we all were like, Wisconsin just can't score any points.
I said they'd win.
Well, yeah. So you said Wisconsin would win. I'd pick Purdue, and I think it's from that. I'm taking the Cornhuskers, like Costa said. They're due for a win. I think they're going to take it. Claudia, you're wrong. So go Cornhuskers, whatever the heck that means.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nebraska. Shout out the boy Will Compton. Nebraska is a few plays away from
born in Compton, please.
He was not born in Compton. Shout out the boy Will Compton. Nebraska is a few plays away from being 7-0 without special teams. They're 7-0, so go Cornhuskers. Best corn in the Midwest.
The Fighting Adrian Martinez's win.
All right, so I'm actually going to go with the Cornhuskers as well. Shout out to my boy Noah Fant, who was actually from Nebraska but went to play at Iowa. So, yeah, go with the Cornhuskers. I think their record is very deceiving. And, again, Claudia, you're wrong.
Yeah, babe, I love you, but, yeah, this is a not so fast, my friend.
Claudia's already pulling out the wife or the girlfriend / woman in the relationship's never wrong card right there.
Oh, my gosh. Well, she's right on this.
Even when if Nebraska wins, she's gonna be like, I'm still not wrong. Guarantee you.
Yeah. But Purdue just really disappointed me last week. I actually thought they were a lot better than that. And then just to get smacked around and actually make Wisconsin's offense look good. I do love my boy Ches Malusi going off though, but it's at Nebraska. They're due for a big win. I got Huskers. UCLA at Utah.
Oh, is this the random one that you decided to throw in there?
Nope.
No,
that was in there. That was on there.
I missed it then.
I'm surprised Josh isn't putting in his scores also. Very disappointed. Or picks.
Yeah. So I somehow completely overlooked this one. I'm going to take UCLA. Because they're a DTR injury away from winning the game against Oregon. Potentially.
So I'm not the only one. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying something.
I think he's memeing.
Because I'm not gonna punish myself and stay up until midnight watching a game that I don't care about. So, and also because I have to work on Sunday mornings. So, I think UCLA has just the better quarterback and the better team, and they'll beat Utah.
Yeah, UCLA is going to win this game. UCLA actually has the best defense in the Pac-12 this season. And Utah just doesn't have the offense that Oregon has and can have, so they're not going to put up 34 points on UCLA. So UCLA is going to end up winning this game, even if Garbers is in the game and plays if DTR is actually really hurt. If Garbers goes in there and plays, he's still going to beat Utah.
If DTR is healthy, I would take UCLA, but evidently his injury was serious enough he couldn't finish the game against Oregon. So I'm going to go with Utah in this game just because of that.
Utah, undefeated at home. Give me the Utes.
Garbers is a stud. Don't sleep on him.
He played terrible on that final drive.
Okay,
that was his first play time.
On the road. Again, on the road.
It wasn't on the road. It was at home.
No, it wasn't. It was
No, it was at the
Oregon
Rose.
State.
It was at
the Rose Bowl.
I thought you were talking about Utah.
Oh no.
No,
all their losses
UCLA's
have come on the road this year, undefeated at home.
UCLA's backup quarterback is Cal's Chase Garber's younger brother.
Texas at Baylor. Number 16, Baylor.
Baylor, Texas. I think they just haven't ever. I really just think that
Texas is back, folks.
Not this time. You're wrong.
We're back.
No, we got you.
Thank you for interrupting me.
I'm sorry, I had to. It was due to be shown sometime in the show.
No, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I think ever since just losing that big lead against Oklahoma, I just think that just deflated Texas enough to where maybe Tom Brady might want to come and coach for them. So, but I'm going to take Baylor.
Yeah, I'm taking Baylor too. I'm not really sure how good this Baylor team really is, but they're going to end up. I agree. Is since having that big lead and blowing that against Oklahoma, it's just
because of you.
Them, completely demoralized them, and it's sad because I actually like Casey Thompson, so but I think Baylor's going to beat them.
Is he your man crush? Is he your man crush Mondays? Casey Thompson.
No, it's not.
Who's your man crush Monday?
Tyson Dye.
Who?
Hendon Hooker.
Okay.
No,
that's
see,
good.
mine is Gary Bohannon. But anyway, I'm gonna go with the Fighting Robert Griffin III's on this. I mean, I love the guy as an announcer. We talked about it in the group
He's
chat.
actually really good.
Yes,
I actually
I
really
love him.
like having him as an announcer now.
I love him. He's one of my favorite analysts.
So yeah, go Fighting RG3s.
Yeah, I agree. Baylor also undefeated at home. And I think Baylor, we have to remember, Baylor's last game, they beat BYU pretty comfortably.
Oh yeah.
They're a good. I think they're a good football team, and there's a good chance if there's going to be a team that Oklahoma loses to in the Big 12, it's going to be Baylor. So I'm going with the real Bears.
Bears.
Virginia at number 25, BYU.
I went back and forth on this one. This is Bronco Mendenhall's homecoming game versus BYU. He was hired away from BYU to coach Virginia.
Did not know that.
Virginia around. And I am taking UVA. Their offense is very explosive with Brandon Armstrong. They've looked really good. I think that honestly, I would rather have them be number 25 instead of BYU, especially with BYU getting destroyed, as you mentioned, Coster by Baylor 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I'm taking Bronco Mendenhall to come into Mormontown and get the win. The Fighting Bronco Mendenhalls.
Yeah, so I'm going Virginia as well. I can't go for BYU ever since they let me down. So Virginia's
that's the reason why I'm not picking them either. They let me down with Baylor.
I definitely think Virginia's going to win this game, and
I'm absolutely terrified for when we play them.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm terrified when Notre Dame has to go on the road against UVA.
I think I saw something for Virginia Tech is they already have Virginia Tech as a 17-point underdog to UVA if they would play.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Who would have thought that?
Well, what is it? Notre Dame only has a 63% chance to beat UVA.
If Virginia wins this, I'd take Virginia to beat you guys. Personally,
right now Notre Dame is an 85+% chance to beat everyone left on their schedule except Virginia.
Okay, so who wins this game though, right?
So I was gonna go BYU in this game, but I really like Virginia and what Brennan Armstrong is doing, and also the fact that rest in peace our good old friend Zach Wilson. This past week that had a pretty bad injury, but yeah, Virginia is the best team. Not the best team in the ACC, but I think they're better than Pitt. So yeah, go UVA.
I'd take Pitt.
Yeah, I'd take Pitt. So not so fast.
I'd love to. I can't wait though because I'm wondering when Pitt and UVA play. That's gonna be a game we need to have in pick'ems. A great game.
So I think really this is a tough stretch upcoming these next 3 games for Virginia. They're at BYU, then they host Notre Dame, and then although I did get a bye before that, and then they're at Pitt.
Oh, they're at Pitt. Oh,
yeah, but I think this one ever since like that early on in the year where they were struggling at times, Virginia's really gotten their stuff together. So I'm going with the Fighting Bryce Perkins.
I like that choice. We're all taking UVA. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going with UVA. I'm sorry, I'm not. Ever since
BYU, we don't trust BYU after they lost.
BYU has let us down too many times.
No, they have too many times for sure. Fresno State at number 21, San Diego State.
For no other reason, I'm just taking San Diego State. I'm just taking them. I have no reason why because I didn't look too much into this game, so I'm just taking San Diego State.
I am somebody that always sticks to my guns, and I said that Fresno State was going to end 10-2 at the end of the season, so I have to take Fresno State here. Also, I don't think San Diego State's second.
I'm going to go with the real FSU here, the Fighting Jake Hanners. San Diego State, in my opinion, I just thought they caught Air Force on a bad night. I think Air Force is still the better team. But yeah, the real FSU is going to win this game.
Real FSU. I like that.
You said that last week.
Yeah. I was surprised that San Diego State did beat Air Force last week, but not this time.
I think we all picked it. I think we had all picked Air Force.
Yeah,
right?
we all took Air Force
in the game. And I believe we are everyone except Connor is taking Fresno State, and I am with Lucas here. I think Fresno State goes 10-2. Give me the Bulldogs.
See, that's how I lost because I'm the only one because I get those wrong when I'm the only one that takes the team.
And Fresno also really impressed me how they played against Nevada and Carson Strong. So
number 22, Iowa State at West Virginia.
I know we were. You guys were talking about. West
Hold on, a record I got wrong. It's 3-4, and I put 4-3.
Oh, okay. Dang. I was about to say I don't think West Virginia is that good.
Oh, well, I mean that's still not that good.
Yeah, that's 4-3 is not that good either, but 3-4 is even worse. I think we were talking about how West Virginia is one of probably 2 teams that actually have a good defense. I had mentioned before a couple of shows ago that I think I'm sure their streak of giving up less than 10 points a game at home is still going on since the start of last year, but Iowa State, like you guys,
it's not actually anymore.
Oh, it's not.
They gave up 23 to Texas Tech earlier this year.
Okay, thank you.
And they gave up 21 to Virginia Tech.
Oh no, that's not the streak. It's just that's the average. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm still taking Iowa State. They have figured it out, and we were talking about whether how they would do if Iowa and Iowa State played now. But I think Brock Purdy's figured it out. I think Iowa State's going to make a charge, maybe challenge Oklahoma and Oklahoma State at the top. So I'm taking Iowa State on the road.
Yeah, I'll take Iowa State too. I think Breece Hall has kind of woke up a little bit. And I mean, he's honestly, I think the best pro-ready running back in college football. So he's going to end up – I think they're going to end up winning this game and probably quite a few more.
Is this game at night? Weird question.
Let me look. Negative. It is at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. I'm going to go West Virginia on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why. The last time Iowa State played a good defense was Iowa. Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions and had a forced fumble. West Virginia's defense is not as good as Iowa's, but I still think they're up there. I think they have the best defense in the Big 12. And I just don't trust Brock Purdy. I mean, this is just such a Brock Purdy thing. It's just beating a good Oklahoma State team at home and then going on the road against West Virginia and laying an egg. So this may be my regret pick, but I'm going to go with the Mountaineers. Rocky Mountain. What is it? Rocky Mountain, take me home. Or Country
No.
Roads Take Me Home?
They're not- they're- no, it's too- they're not even in the Rockies.
Well,
Ryan,
I don't pay
Ryan.
attention to
Baseball.
West Virginia football.
Mama, Country Road.
All right, so Connor, you are going to be singing when we go to karaoke. That's for sure. I am going. I'm going with the,
follow you guys.
maybe we'll give you a run for your money, but I don't know. I'm going with the Fighting Seneca Wallaces in the Cyclones.
Nice.
Nick Wallace.
Man,
This will either really go really good for me or really bad.
yes, it will be. All right, you
Now
ready
we
for
know
my
how it feels.
you ready for the surprise pick? Here you go. Wyoming at San Jose State.
Oh my God! Wait, wasn't Wyoming in the Pick'ems last week?
I think so.
Who'd they play?
Who did they play? No, it wasn't last week. It was 2 weeks ago when they played Fresno. No, last week they were not.
I'm gonna take the Fighting Josh Allens for no other reason, because I couldn't think of anyone who's gone to San Jose State. I kept thinking of Devontae Adams, but he went to Fresno State.
You went to Fresno.
Yeah.
So
And Derek.
I'm going to go with the best quarterback to come out of Wyoming, the Fighting Brett Smiths from my very own West Salem High School. So the Fighting Brett Smiths are going to get this dub, and for no other reason than just it's Wyoming. So it's, because I wanted to say that. Go Brett Smith.
All right, so I actually kind of did my research on this game. Nick Starkel was the starting quarterback for San Jose State coming into this year. He has not played very well and actually got benched for this kid named Nick Nash. Also, the fact that Wyoming has we had them on the show when they were 4-0 and they have lost 3 straight games.
Oh, jeez.
They just lost. They're coming off of a loss at New Mexico where they only scored 3 points. So, yeah, I'm going to go with San Jose State. Go Spartans.
Remember who just San Jose State just beat, though, and
UNLV.
fought to the very end.
New Mexico literally hasn't made a bowl since they broke the record.
Who did
for
San
the
Jose
longest streak
State
of-
beat?
UNLV. That's probably the worst team in college football by 7.
Worse than Arizona?
Yeah.
I would say
No,
so. I think
no.
I think Arizona could.
Didn't
win
UNLV almost
the-
beat Fresno too?
no.
They beat one of the better teams, almost beat one of the better teams. But
Hey,
anyway,
Connor.
I am going with the Fighting James Jones in the San Jose State Spartans.
James Jones. Okay.
Good choice. Good name.
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna go with the Spartans. Number 12, Kentucky at Mississippi State.
I'm taking the Fighting Lynn Bowdens, which quite literally he was fighting against Virginia Tech because he threw a punch an hour and a half before the game and wasn't ejected for it.
That's hilarious.
Because the refs don't take the field until an hour before the game, and then the year after that, they made it to where refs take the field an hour and a half before to prevent that from happening. If the refs were there, he wouldn't have played, and Virginia Tech would have won the belt bowl against Kentucky because they had no good quarterbacks after him. So I hate Lynn Bowden forever, but I'm still taking Kentucky because Mississippi State sucks.
Yeah. Mississippi State's pretty bad. And I'm going to throw back a little bit for you guys. So I'm going with the Fighting Jared Lorenzens, RIP, one of the fattest quarterbacks ever play college football.
Lefty.
So I got Kentucky in this one.
All right, so this game's between the Fighting Benny Snells and the Fighting Dak Prescotts. So I'm going to go with the Fighting Benny Snells in this game.
Fair. What if I told you guys that Mississippi State was a 1-point favorite in this game?
UCLA was a 1-point favorite against Oregon.
That's more reasonable, though, I feel like, than this.
Mississippi State is god awful. Their best win is against NC State.
Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? Oh, that's
No.
why. Yeah, because they beat NC State, but still. I don't take that. I'd take Kentucky in the points probably.
Yeah, but I am going with the Fighting Randall Cobbs in Kentucky. I
Oh,
think
that's
I
right.
didn't remember he went to.
I started Randall Cobb tonight in fantasy, by the way.
You're not going to get any points, probably.
yeah.
Well, okay. 3 Packers wide receivers are out tonight. So,
Yeah, I know. Stinking Devontae Adams is going to screw me against Blake in our freaking YouTubers league because I freaking COVID. I'm also decimated with bye weeks and injuries, but whatever. But yeah, give me Kentucky. I think still they're a good team, and they will definitely finish second in the East. SMU number 19 in the country at Houston.
I'm picking. I think someone mentioned before that they were surprised Houston's not ranked, and I'm kind of surprised too. But they just haven't played anybody really. But I'm picking SMU mainly because I just want them to be undefeated for when they play Cincinnati, because that will be a great game if Cincinnati wins that game to kind of solidify their chances, to solidify the case for the playoffs. And obviously they probably would play SMU again, or Memphis in the AAC championship. So I'm taking SMU because I want that, because I really want to see Cincy in the playoff, honestly.
yeah, I'm in the same boat. Got to stick with my boy Isaac Slade Matuatia, linebacker for SMU. And I think they're going to end up winning this game. And I'm pretty sure Bouchel had some crazy game last week also. So.
Oh, right. This is
Tanner
Mordecai. I forgot SMU still.
Oh, Tanner Mordecai. That's right.
Tanner
That's
Mordecai.
right. Yeah, I think he had some crazy game last week too. I can't remember what his stats were, but I'm pretty sure he had a really good game. So it's gonna be a really good one, fun one to watch. But yeah, same reason I want SMU to be undefeated.
I really wanted to take Houston in this game, but I really want Cincy to make the playoff, and for them to have a chance, I think they have to play a really good SMU team. So I'm going to go with the Fighting Cortland Suttons in this game.
All right. He went there. I forgot about that.
Of course he would say the Fighting Cortland Suttons. Why does that not surprise me? So actually, the line on this one was at one point Houston was a 1-point favorite. Now the line I just checked is even. I'm not
that surprised by that, but
I'm going with the Pony Express. I think here's the thing. If Houston does win this game, though, and wins out, it's big because SMU could still have only one loss, and then Cincinnati beats them. But then they get they don't play Houston in the regular season, so then they get another chance to boost their resume against Houston.
That's true.
But
but SMU wouldn't be ranked, but Houston would be.
Yeah, but I think that Houston did also barely beat East Carolina, which is not a good look. So I'm going to go with Pony.
Well, to be fair, also, I mean, if you're going to say they wouldn't be ranked, Coastal Carolina lost to Appalachian State, and they only dropped to 25.
Hey, don't. What?
Oh, App State or Coastal still ranked?
Yeah, they're number 25.
Oh,
yeah, but Coastal was 13th or something.
Yeah, so they still dropped a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the Fighting Eric Dickersons and SMU. Texas Tech at number 4 Oklahoma.
Well, the fact that Texas Tech just fired their head coach for some reason.
What's up with that?
I don't know. I don't know, honestly. I mean, he had him at 5-3, which is pretty good, honestly. With
what he's got to work with.
Unless there's something I didn't read too much into it. I just saw they'd been fired. I was like, oh, that's kind of surprising. But then when I saw, because I was like, oh, they must be 3-5 or something. But then I saw the record, they're 5-3. That makes no sense. I think that's going to really just demoralize this team, and I think Oklahoma probably will be another struggle bus for Oklahoma. But I'm taking Oklahoma to win this, especially after that news coming out for Texas Tech. I think they're going to have no drive to win that game.
Yeah, I got Oklahoma winning this. I feel like it's one of those situations where we've seen Oklahoma the entire season through their 8 victories, where they will play up or they will play down to their opponent but still get the victory. So it's going to be kind of the same deal.
Making the Pittsburgh Steelers proud.
Yeah, right. So and Tennessee.
Yeah, definitely Tennessee.
They're going to play. I think they're going to play kind of down to Texas Tech because I don't think Texas Tech is very good. Henry Columbia is all right, but I don't think he's going to get them there. But yeah, so they're going to. I think they'll end up winning. It's going to be another one of those 10, 13 point victories.
Yeah, I really want to take Texas Tech in this game. I still think it's just a matter of when Oklahoma loses. But Texas Tech's defense is god awful. They still let 70 points on them by Texas. So go Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma. There's going to be a week that Oklahoma loses.
It just makes me upset because they're having to pick them because they just know that they are the worst top 4 team, like maybe in history.
If they went undefeated, would you say they were worse than 2014 Florida State? Because
I still think Florida State at least blew out a team. Oklahoma has not blown out anybody
other than Tulane.
They didn't even blow out
Western Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't count. Western Carolina is a bottom tier FCS school.
Yeah, but like Florida State, everyone was like, they were undefeated, but they were what 3 or 4 seed?
And they were the 3, I think.
They were the 3, but like everyone agreed universally they were the worst team in that playoff that year because
even that FSU team blew out teams that they were supposed to. Like, they had some close games against teams that they weren't supposed to, but that's just college football. But when it's on a week-to-week basis, it's like
so you would have Florida State. That Florida State team would probably
I would have them a little bit up.
I think they would probably beat this Oklahoma too.
Yeah, I think they are more talented. Especially they had better talent on the defensive side of the ball.
Lucas, I was just turning some lights on, dude.
Actually, do have.
It's just
this dude needs a ring light. That's what he needs. All right, number 9, Iowa at Wisconsin.
Okay,
how's that?
My eyes.
Okay, that's better though. Yeah,
that's better. Okay. Yeah. This I would not be surprised if this is like. I mean, what is it? Josh or someone said that they wouldn't be surprised if this was like 9-3.
I wouldn't be either.
Game with Iowa winning. I'm taking Iowa, but I have in the back of my mind the fact that Wisconsin put up 30 on Purdue, but I don't think that that's going to happen against a good defense like Iowa has. But that offense is so bad that Iowa has that if this game, I mean, the combined, I think the over-under is 36.5, I think is the low. I think Blake said that's the lowest so far this entire season. So I would take the under, honestly. But watch, I would take the under if I actually bet money, and then both teams would score 36 each or 30 plus.
You know what's crazy? Graham Mertz only threw the ball 8 times, and they still won 30-13.
That's smart because he can't throw the ball. Make sure he doesn't throw the dang ball.
He was 5 for 8 for literally only 52 yards and no touchdowns, no interception.
How many rushing yards did they have?
Malusi had 149 on 27 carries, 1 touchdown.
What was the team total?
Oh, and then they had a number 0, Braylon Allen. He had 140 yards on 12 carries, averaged 11.7 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. So that's where that 30 points came from.
Okay, I'm still taking it. But I wouldn't be surprised if this goes like, I don't know, 12-6 or something.
So you're taking Iowa. I am taking Wisconsin in this one. Something that Ryan has been kind of saying is that Wisconsin is kind of maybe a better team than what we give them credit for. I know Mertz is terrible, but their 3 losses were to now number 11 Notre Dame, number 20 Penn State, and number 6 Michigan. Like, those are 3 tough losses. So, and Iowa doesn't look good at all. I think Wisconsin wins.
Yeah, as our boy Luke would say, as he's not here, on Wisconsin. And after this win,
Luke Birch, I love that. He's a mob with Tom Grassi like me.
If after this win Wisconsin's not ranked, boycott the top 25 because Wisconsin needs to be ranked to make Notre Dame look better for beating them 40-13. Please.
It wasn't that bad.
We know
Oh my God! Who
Thank
the
you.
hell cares?
Notre Dame fans do.
Oh
yeah, well, I mean,
you guys are still stuck in the 80s. The last time you actually won a championship.
Oh God, dude! Last time they didn't get blowout.
When was the last time Virginia Tech won a title?
Never, but at least we've actually we didn't get embarrassed in one because we actually were leading the game at one point against Florida State, and you guys have never lost by more than 25.
Oh yeah.
We literally only lost to Bama 31-17.
Okay, y'all still got
31-14.
dominated. All right, let's
move on.
Still got Kanye. Blah 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 blah. Iowa wins this game. It's basically the battle of the poopy offenses. Literally probably the two worst quarterbacks in the Big Ten, but I think Mertz is the worst. So
I think it's just a battle of honestly who the best running backs are, and maybe it just comes down to Malusi.
Oh no, running backs it goes to Wisconsin without a doubt. But I think Iowa's defense is better at the end of the day.
If only Clemson had Malusi. I mean, I think he helped.
Bro, I know. Don't tell me. No, dude. Honestly, Shipley's good, and so is Phil Maffa. Also, we don't have Kobe Pace this weekend, which sucks. But it's fine. He's the worst of the three. Besides the point. Number 10, Ole Miss at number 18, Auburn.
Well, we have one good, really, really, really good quarterback who's probably one or number two in the Heisman runnings. And on the other side, we have a guy who is not in Bo Nix. I think we're going to have Mr. No Nix will show up, though. I think there might be a Bo Nix play here and there, but I think we're going to mostly see Mr. No Nix. I think Matt Corral is just going to absolutely destroy that Auburn defense. Go Rebels.
Yeah, I'm going Ole Miss. Mostly because I want Auburn to lose more games so that when they beat Alabama again, they are when Bo Nix beats Alabama again.
Can we videotape that and make sure when we pick the Alabama Auburn game, Lucas sticks to his guns?
Bro, it's gonna be on YouTube. What do you mean? We don't.
Ryan's over here. Ryan's over here telling me about Oregon State's better than Oregon because they won the last time. Well, what happened last time Alabama and Auburn played?
Auburn literally got the crap beat out of them last year.
Oh, year before. COVID year doesn't count. Year before.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And Oregon State beat the crap out of Oregon last year, too.
COVID year doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
Okay, shut up. Ryan,
Ryan, make your picks. I'll be off track.
I feel like
this is taking over 40 minutes to do 13 picks, guys. Come on.
Okay, so honestly, this could be another Arkansas Ole Miss game all over again. Auburn's coming off a really impressive win against Arkansas, where Bo Nix actually played pretty well. But Bo Nix is going to do Bo Nix things. Bo Nix for Heisman. He's going to be turned into No Nix for this game, and go Matt Corral.
Matt Corral for Heisman. Ole Miss, baby. Howdy towdy. Where was the last link? Oh. Ryan, stop adding the comments while I'm trying to do the pick'ems.
See you, Josh.
I'm about to make this dude. I'm about to ban your privileges. And now for the one game I wish I was at, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
At least you're not a Florida fan because you definitely will be drunk by the end of this game. Go Georgia.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I wish I was just going to be at Frat Beach tomorrow. Which is at St. Simon's. That's where all the Georgia students go the day before the game. It's so lit.
We all have the same pick here. I think we all have the same pick here. I'm gonna say I think you did say it was a $250 ticket. I think this should have been actually a $1 ticket game because why would you go to this?
It's in Jacksonville. This game will have more people there than the total number of people will go to Jacksonville Jaguars games this entire season.
Is it because you just
Jags aren't winless anymore?
Still, there's more people.
They're still winless in the U.S.
Watching the Jags play in London.
They are still winless in the U.S. That's good. I like that.
They are winless in the U.S.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like Lucas said, I think we can all agree. Just there's no time even spending time on this big game. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Even though they're only 14-point favorites, you never know with this one.
I'd take Georgia and the points.
I will say. I'm going to say this. There's a lot of times in the past where Georgia should have beat Florida but did not. This is not one of those times. Go Dogs. They are going to annihilate the Gators. They are going to be eating gator tail. Yes, babe. Go Dogs. Even though I'm not going to be there with you. I'll be watching on TV. Number 20, Penn State at number 5, Ohio State.
I swear to God, this better. I hope Sean Clifford is able to play, but Ohio State is gonna skin the Nittany Lions and make some new fur coats out of their hides. Ohio State. What's the over on? What's the points?
What's the spread? Give me 1 second to pull that up. It is Ohio State is 18.5-point favorite. Wow.
I'd take Ohio State with the points, even with Sean Clifford playing, because when Penn State puts up less than 250 yards of offense, Ohio State's gonna whoop that ass.
Damn. See, I will still never, ever understand how my Oregon Ducks were able to go into Columbus and beat this team because Ohio State
Because they were
really freaking good.
CJ Stroud was what? That was his third career start. Was that game?
I don't care. We got the dub. I don't understand it, but we got the dub. Ohio State's gonna murder these guys.
Yeah.
That's the early season game that nobody cares about. If this game was at Penn State and it was at Happy Valley at night, I would have taken Penn State. But because it always seems like Ohio State struggles when they're on the road against Penn State in a night game.
It really does.
That's
actually like a proven thing. They
that's
don't play well on the road at Penn State. But this is in the horseshoe. I'm not going to be like,
no, it's in the big house.
Yeah, it's in the big house against against a really good Illinois team. Go Fighting Illini.
Okay.
Go Ohio State. Go Buckeyes.
I hate Ohio State, and I hate having to pick them in this game. But I do think that it's going to be closer than people think. Yeah, Ohio State's won a lot of big, been winning by a lot these last few weeks. But who have they played? Rutgers, Akron, Maryland, Indiana. I'm sorry, but
it's how they're.
If they win by 35 plus, would you be impressed?
Yeah, because Penn State's defense is still, I think, really good. So I do still want to see them beat Michigan State or Michigan too before I'm really going to get on board with them, because that defense still has got me got me scratching my head. But I will take Ohio State in this game. And now the battle for the Paul Bunyan Trophy, where College Game Day is going to be at number 6 Michigan at number 8 Michigan State.
Is this a night game?
Nope, it's a noon game, which is trash.
Dude, seriously?
9 a.m. for
this should be the night game.
This should be College Game Day night game.
It is College Game Day, but no night game. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I'm taking Michigan State because I think they have the better running back. Kenneth Walker is probably, I would say right now, is the best running back in the Big Ten, and maybe probably second or third, probably second best in the country, if not maybe the best in the country right now. He has been absolutely lights out. Naylor is probably the second or third best wide receiver in the Big Ten this year. And I think it'll be a good game. I definitely think that. I don't think this is going to be any sort of blowout. I hope this is a classic, because this is exactly what you want. I think that I saw something. This is the first time that they're ranked inside the top 10 this late in the season, playing each other in 50 plus years or something.
Wait, what was it when they had the call where it was the fumbled punt and Michigan State?
Michigan had already lost one game, but Michigan State was 5 or 6, and Michigan was 11 or 12 when that happened. He had trouble with the snap.
Oh yeah,
Jalen Watts Jackson.
And he scores on the last play of the game.
And then you just see the Michigan guy go.
The greatest voice crack, one of the great Sean McDonough voice cracks.
Yeah. That's just one of the great calls of all time, honestly.
No, it was. It
was, yeah.
So, but yeah, of course, that was at Michigan, but I think we could. I hope we see some crazy stuff like that.
I won't be surprised if we do.
Dude, I'm definitely Virginia Tech. I'm so watching this game over Virginia Tech.
What's the spread in this one?
Huh?
What's the spread in this game?
Let me.
I wouldn't be. It's probably be
I
even.
think Michigan State is favored, but barely. Let me look. They are Michigan. Actually, no. Michigan's a 4-point favorite.
4 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
That means neutral. They actually have Michigan as a 7-point favorite. Then wow.
Yep.
Full
yeah.
touchdown
So
favorite.
I'm
still taking Michigan State. I'm liking them. I haven't watched much of either, but I really do like Kenneth Walker and Naylor. So Michigan State.
This right here and new games. New games are trash. At least make them one. If you're gonna do anything,
Make it like
the NFL. Yeah. That's exactly.
You
what
think
I'm
it
saying.
sucks? It sucks for me the most. I got to get up at 9 a.m. to watch these games. I want to sleep in on freaking Saturday.
And I mean, and especially for a game like this, you have to wake up at 9 o'clock for that. When I get to sleep in, and I can't sleep in.
But okay, so making my pick. Obviously, I'm going Michigan here, and it's because they have the best run game in the country with Corum and Haskins. They're extremely good, and they're going to run all over this Michigan State team. I don't think Michigan State's quarterback is good enough to beat Michigan. I think McNamara can do just enough to get this victory, and I'm taking Michigan with the points in this one. I almost give them 10 points in this. You're muted.
Ryan, you're muted, my guy.
See, this is where I go not so fast, my friend. Michigan State is the best team in the Big Ten. Kenneth Walker is the best running back in the country. And the thing we have not seen yet from this Michigan team is them prove that they can throw the ball. They are really heavy run dependent. And if Michigan State says, hey, we're going to stack the box, well, we want to see if you can throw the ball. I don't know if I trust McNamara yet to do that. I know that Kenneth Walker, no matter what Michigan does, is going to get 100 yards in this game and maybe a couple tutties. So, yeah, go Michigan State and go Sparty. And also, we may hear this again.
Oh, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
Greatest voice crack in the announcer's history. But Ryan, not so fast, my friend. I will say that, yeah, Kenneth Walker's getting a lot of yards, but Michigan State's offensive line is not that good. And this is, without a doubt, the best defensive line they will have played all season. And I do think they are going to slow down Kenneth Walker. And I do think Michigan, this is the time they finally, in the big game against Michigan State, was that they are going to actually be able to beat them. Go hail to the victors.
I'm just glad I'm not the only one that took Michigan State.
Oh, no, you should have known. I've been saying Michigan State's the best team.
Well, I know, yeah, but I thought you were
Michigan State, for me, is just they were very shaky in their last game against Indiana. They've been shaky a lot of times this year where they shouldn't have.
Wouldn't be. When does Ohio State play Michigan State? Is that next week?
It is on the November 20th. So we still
is
got
that a night game? Is that game a night game?
That's to be determined.
That's the week before. So that's the week before the big game. So Ohio State gets Michigan State and then Michigan back to back.
And then Michigan State plays Ohio State and then home against Penn State back to back. So that's
is the big game at Michigan?
The game? The big game is Cal Stanford.
Sorry, the game. Sorry, I forgot about that. Sorry.
Yeah, but it is it's at the big house. You were thinking of the big house.
So Michigan State Michigan State plays Ohio State at the Horseshoe?
Yes.
Jeez. Oh, so Michigan gets home against Ohio State. Either way, I would love it if either of these teams, whatever wins, is undefeated going into that Ohio State game.
See, now what would suck for the Big Ten is if Michigan State beats Michigan. And then
that's true.
Ohio State
Ohio
State beats Michigan State and then Michigan beats Ohio State.
Because then that messes everything up.
And that's why it's not going to happen.
No,
I love what Michigan State has done this year, but I will say, let's be real. Tucker's going to be probably gone by the end by next year anyway. So
why would he
be hired by an NFL team or another?
No, they're saying he's a former for the LSU job.
Oh, really?
And last time, finally built it up.
No. Last time he said, when he was asked about going somewhere else, when he was at Colorado, he said he was going to help build Colorado, and he didn't do that. So,
how long has he been at Michigan State?
2 years. Like 2 years.
Yeah, it's
you think Michigan State get good before, and then.
It's not like Michigan State isn't a blue blood. It's different when it's Colorado. Michigan State is actually a blue blood program.
What? No,
yes,
they're not.
Traditionally, they are a blue blood program.
No, Michigan is a blue blood program, not Michigan State. Stop it. Notre Dame.
No.
Yes, they are.
Michigan is a blue blood. Michigan State is not.
Yeah.
Michigan State was the big brother. And
All right, let's move on with this pick.
All right.
Let's go.
No, Ryan, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. I'm going to go pull up something on this after this is done. Okay, now it's time for our teams. It's time for the Battle of the Techs. Virginia Tech at
What are my
Georgia
name
Tech.
tag? That will give you my answer.
Well, your name tag can't be shown, unfortunately. Isn't shown right now because we have
Georgia
this
has the better tech.
Yeah.
Georgia has the better tech. Until further notice, I am rooting against Virginia Tech because every loss means that we're getting closer and closer to Fuente and Cornelsen being fired. And then we get to speculate who they're going to hire because I don't actually know. I swear to God, if they go group of 5 again, unless it's like Luke Fickell, but I doubt it would come to.
Why don't you guys hire the Louisiana coach at Coastal Carolina?
I mean, I've been hearing that, but I mean, honestly, beyond that, I've been hearing group of 5. There's been not that many there's not that many other coaches outside the Power 5 in the Power 5 that would ever. Some of them at this point, actually, that I would want would be downgrades from where they are.
Nothing is worse than Fuente, and I'm going to make my pick right now. It's going to be Virginia Tech, and the only reason being is because they actually didn't look bad against the Syracuse team that is actually pretty freaking decent. I mean, They played Clemson down to the wire. They have a great run game, and they got this win. It was at the end. It was some fluky stuff, but they played a hard game, and I think Virginia Tech's going to win.
Okay, I'll say this real quick. The Fighting Calvin Johnsons will beat the Fighting. Oh, I can't say
Tyrod Taylors.
I was going to say the Fighting Michael Vicks, but you can't exactly say that.
Yes, you can. Michael Vicks.
He did his time. He did his time.
Bro, he did his time. Bro, he did his time. You can say Fighting Michael Vicks, even though it does kind of sound wrong based on.
It does sound wrong, but yeah, fighting Calvin Johnsons. I'm taking Georgia Tech.
So Lucas, you already went right. You took beat.
You said Virginia Tech.
I really want Virginia Tech to get to a bowl game at least, just so Connor can get some
I hope they go to the Military Bowl because they've been to that played in Annapolis, which is like 15 minutes from where I live.
That would actually be really convenient.
Exactly, very convenient.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Virginia Tech in this game. I think that their offense has maybe finally figured it out, and Georgia Tech has been really up and down. They haven't really played anybody. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Virginia Tech.
All right, y'all are a bunch of idiots. So we're gonna act like Georgia Tech also didn't play Clemson close, and we're gonna also act like Georgia Tech almost should have beaten Virginia last week. I'm not gonna lie, it's at Tech, and no offense, Connor, I don't mean this to be mean, I'm not trying to, but I think Tech is the better team right now.
Which Tech?
Georgia Tech, the one that doesn't have university or something in its name. So the
Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University.
Yeah,
that's the full name.
The Georgia Institute of Technology, which I have a programming certification from.
Nice.
So it's kind of like.
So you and me are taking Georgia Tech. They're taking Virginia.
Yeah, so I am taking the Fighting Demarius Thomases. Good
point. I forgot he went there too.
To beat the Fighting Tyrod Taylors.
The Fighting Bruce Smiths.
The Fighting Eddie Royals.
Yes, good choice.
All right. And what is a game which Clemson will be honoring both Tommy Bowden and the late Bobby Bowden, RIP. Such a great man. What used to be the Bowden Bowl and what used to be the game in the ACC is now the meme in the ACC.
We could almost, just because of how hilarious this is, we could have just jokingly put this as the $1 game just because of how
not quite.
Given their
they are. I'm actually very disappointed by that, but I do hope it gives the players motivation.
I'm taking Clemson. Just because that start to Florida State that they had to this season, I just can't get in my head. So I'm taking Clemson, but this could be a very ugly game, especially if DJ plays the way he's been playing, which is not very good.
It's not. I'm telling you, it's not all his fault. He can't help it when
I know
driving the ball.
Still,
go ahead, Lucas.
Clemson, but...
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Andrew. Florida State's on a winning streak, and I ain't gonna stop here. They're gonna get this. They're gonna
stop here.
They're gonna get this victory, and I'm sorry. Clemson needs this more than winning another national title. They need to have a terrible season where they get kind of knocked off their pedestal a little bit, and then they come back
They've
as
been already
as
knocked off
Oregon
the
has.
pedestal.
No,
What do you
how?
mean?
They're 4-3.
They're
They're
not-
knocked off your pedestal is not making a bowl game. Like,
Yeah,
No,
4-8.
no. They're
Oregon
not
went
gonna-
4-8 in 2016, and then 2 years
with
later,
this
or
Clemson
3 years
defense,
later,
that
they
is
won the
not
Rose
going to
Bowl.
happen. With the defense we have, there's no way that's going to happen. We are not where we don't make a bowl.
I know,
game.
but realistically, Clemson
Overrated.
could have 5 losses right now. Like they could very easily be 2-5.
Okay, they easily could be undefeated.
I mean,
Not with your offense.
not with your
No, they
offense.
could. No, okay. Here's the thing with the Georgia game, they literally it's that one pick six. Besides that, it's a 3-3 game. I'm telling you. And then like NC State, they easily could have been gone the other way. Pittsburgh, if they don't make those mistakes, could have gone the other way.
So
Yeah,
now
that's
you
how
gotta sound
football
like
is
me,
played.
Andrew.
They're overrated. Clemson's overrated, and they'll come back, and they're going to be good again. Dabo's really good. I mean, one of the best, if arguably not the best coach in college football. But they are overrated as of this season, and
Ryan, stop it.
it's just
Ryan,
I'm
too.
sorry.
Even
sorry.
Andrew's own girlfriend is saying he's capping right now.
Yeah, you know what?
Why?
She's just saying that because she wants to be the dogs win against them look there, even though that's that's their closest game.
But anyway, I was
Wait,
Lucas
Lucas,
kinda
did you
stole
take
my
Florida
thunder.
State or Clemson?
He took Florida State.
Okay.
Lucas kind of stole my thunder. I kind of hinted at this earlier in the show and in the group chat. I got Florida State. We all been poo-pooing on Jordan Travis after the Notre Dame game and how he played, but this kid's the last 3 games has played amazing. He's on a roll. He's got hitting confidence at the right time, and they're going to end Clemson's 31-game home win streak. It's going to come to an end.
No. If they're going to lose to anyone at home this year, it's going to be Wake Forest. It's not going to be Florida State. I'm sorry, but like this defense. No, it's not. both of you two shut up. Nah, it's not this time. You know how many times she says that to me every year? Is that literally every time she says that, part of me wants Georgia to lose just because
We might
it
need
gets annoying.
like some couples counseling here.
Okay, how did you
No, we
meet?
don't.
Okay, I want to know, Costa, how'd you meet her though?
How did I be? Oh, I met her at a bar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did they
Hell
all
yeah.
maybe I should start going to some bars because I can't pick anybody up.
That's my
Well, you just
guy
gotta-
right there.
Yeah. But yeah. So no, I'm sorry, but this home win streak is gonna continue. I mean, we are the real Death Valley for a reason. 31 straight at home, make it 32. Sorry, Florida State.
LSU and Clemson need to play, and whoever play in a neutral site, but they need to do like 3 games. One at
Well, they are
Death-
doing a home and home in like 5 or 6 years from now.
I
Well,
just
they need to
can't
have
wait
3
to
games.
hear.
They need to have 3 games. They play one at home and home, and then they play a neutral site game. And whoever wins 2 of 3, whoever wins 2 of 3,
Okay.
call themselves the real Death Valley.
Okay, and also that New Orleans does not count as neutral site. I was at that game. That is like 75% LSU. Does not count.
I just can't wait to hear.
Would Atlanta be okay? Because that's kind of like in the middle between you guys.
Yeah, that's fair because they'll make the trip and everything. No, the real Thomas Hawk Chop is for the Braves. I'm
No.
sorry, Seminoles.
No.
No.
You're gonna hear. No, look,
Ryan, you are saying that
Andrew?
because the Cardinals suck.
No, Andrew, you're gonna hear this all Saturday night at Clemson. This is gonna be. What
No,
you're
I'm
gonna
not.
see.
I'm going to be watching the
Yep.
Braves game.
Let's move on. Let's move it on.
And also, it's not going to be a night game. It's at 3:30. So
Okay,
joke's on you.
it'll end up being a night game.
Whatever. All right. Now the was it 2-5 Colorado at number 7 Oregon.
Oh God, if Oregon struggles with Colorado,
That's
Oh.
gonna be hilarious.
So
But I'm
before you
saying-
make your picks, the only good thing about Colorado is their defense and their star linebacker, their best player on their team, is not playing in this game.
That's
Okay.
actually what I was not going to say. What I was going to say, I was thinking about what I was going to say, but then I was like, wait, don't want to get demonetized.
What?
Okay, Oregon.
Yeah, Sko Ducks. It's not gonna be close. I'll be at this
You're
game.
supposed to go
Actually,
last, Lucas.
Well,
It
okay,
doesn't matter. I'm gonna be
bro.
active.
We're all taking
Yeah, we're all
again.
Sco
Yeah,
Ducks.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're all
Ducks.
saying no SCO Buffs, SCO Ducks. Sorry, Colorado Yellowstone.
Even though Spencer Webb can come in the clutch.
Yeah, Lucas, you kind of fumbled the bag with that one, my boy.
Hey,
I
I can't
haven't
make
heard back from that other guy.
I can't make people just do things.
Yeah, you can. It's
even
called
know-
putting it. No, okay,
I don't
I'm
even
not
know
gonna
the
say that
guy.
either.
Did we
Oh,
hear from
know
the
the guy.
coach, by the way, Connor?
Not yet.
We can talk about this later. Let's make the picks.
All right, okay, we got. Don't worry, guys. We got a few more to go. What is it, Brian? I am trying to pull up your team.
Oregano.
I'm gonna ban Ryan from clicking on the comments. That's
Even
made
though
this at the most inconvenient times.
Okay, Notre Dame.
All right, North Carolina at number 11, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
It's going to be a close one, but Notre Dame.
Right.
Go ahead. Make your pick. It doesn't matter.
That's a tough one. And Notre Dame it's only a 3-point favorite.
Really?
Yeah. I think Notre Dame wins by a field goal on the last second field goal.
I think it's going to be like the USC game all over again. Kyron Williams is going to go off. Jack Cohn's going to get the ball out quick. So.
Oh, now you're on Jack Cohn.
No, 14. No, I still hate Jack Cohn. His face.
Nope. You just praised Jack Cohen. That's all I needed to hear. Yeah.
Nope, Notre Dame by 14.
North Carolina is way better than USC.
Yeah.
But they also have lost to a bunch of teams that are terrible. So.
Okay. Rex. All right, now our good old $1 ticket game. Oh man, my favorite. This one took a while for me to find, and surprisingly, the cost on this one is cheaper than a lot of the other ones that I went through looking. But honestly, this one I had to. The good old $1 ticket game this week is Louisiana Tech 2-5 at 1-6 Old Dominion.
Okay, so I can't ever forget what happened when Virginia Tech decided it would be smart to go and play at Old Dominion for some reason other than to be a recruitment pitch for the area, which I think is the 757 area, which is where some of the best recruits that Virginia Tech has ever had have come out from. And of course they got embarrassed. So I really was tempted to take the fighting, breaking Josh Jackson's legs there with the Dukes or the Old Dominion Dukes.
Damn, he did that.
Yeah, but I'm going to take the fighting. I don't even know who went to Louisiana Tech. I'm just going to take Louisiana Tech. I don't know who went there. So they're the Fighting Techies. They're the only good Tech team that I can root for now.
Yeah, I'm going Louisiana Tech, and it's because Old Dominion is just a weird name.
It reminds me of the truck company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Josh or Lyle said last night.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Old Dominion? Someone said that is like, would you rather have Old Dominion trucks move you, or LT, the Danny and Tomlinson run the ball for you?
All right. So for this game, just so we can take a little flashback back to that Virginia Tech Old Dominion game, we got the Fighting Travis Fulghams and the Fighting Jeremy Coxes in this game.
Oh, Fulgham was on that Old Dominion team?
Travis Fulgham and Jeremy
Really?
Cox.
I didn't know that. No wonder we lost, because he's actually good and our defense sucks.
Didn't you guys get ran all over? Who was their running back?
Jeremy Cox was the running back, and he's playing fullback in the NFL.
What's really annoying is we had an 86-yard touchdown run on our first play from scrimmage that game. And I'm like, oh, we're about to blow them out. Nope. Oh,
no, Jeremy Cox actually ran all over you. Was that play where it was like?
All right, make your pick, boy.
But anyway, I'm going with Louisiana Tech.
Ryan is the reason we really have these.
Hey, you know what? No, it's not.
Yes, you just did my rest case.
How about you not show up next week, and we'll see how long we can go.
Okay, well, you know
what?
No, because Notre Dame will win, and then I won't be able to poo-poo talk.
Oh, God.
And I'm actually going to be able to be at that game, so hopefully Sam Howell's draft stock falls from number 29 overall to in the second
So
round.
the Broncos can pick him in the third round. And
No, I don't want Sam Howell. No, don't come to the Broncos.
The Bumpkos? Yeah.
Jeez,
okay.
I almost fell asleep.
So-
That was crazy.
I'm sorry, Lucas. This man is like literally like a Chatty Cathy doll. I can't help it. Okay, so we got Bulldogs and we got Monarchs.
Monarchs. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
So
couldn't remember. It was some other dog.
Just because the Georgia Bulldogs are the number one team, I'm going to go with their little brother in the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs to take to knock down and dethrone the Old Dominion Monarchs. And last but not least, no, I'm not gonna lie. This game right here has two of the greatest combo of nicknames playing each other: the Stetson Hatters against the Presbyterian Blue Hose.
The Hatters.
Yes. I was what?
So the first thing when I saw that was, I don't know why, but the name Clint Eastwood came to mind. And I can imagine Clint Eastwood wearing a pair of Stetsons, walking around looking all nice and cool and stuff, not talking too much, shooting guys in the head with his gun and stuff from the Dollars trilogy.
Okay, all I'm gonna say is, Connor, if you get us demonetized, I'm gonna come on there and slap you.
But I can't see Clint Eastwood becoming a Presbyterian. So for that reason, I'm taking Stetson.
That's pretty good.
All right, so I'm going to go with Stetson, and the only reason being is because that is the name of the best quarterback on the Georgia Bulldogs, Stetson Bennett. All right, that's it.
All right. So actually,
God.
we got it wrong. Presbyterian is actually 2-5. Both these teams are on losing streaks. Stetson is on a 4-game losing streak, and Presbyterian is on a 5-game losing streak.
Yep.
They both started at 2-0.
The Week 0 podcast curse for Presbyterian.
So both of these teams have started 2-0. And Stetson actually has one NFL player, Donald Payne, who is currently an NFL free agent. So I want to take the Fighting Donald Paynes, but I got to stick with my guns. This is my team. Go Presbyterian. Go Blue Hose. Blue Hose want Bama.
Oh, man. Honestly, man. All right. So the greatest, just because they are the greatest group of names together, does not mean they're the greatest teams, unfortunately. Stetson is bad, but they're almost at least have beaten at least one team in their losing streak, whereas Presbyterian has just gotten, I lied. They almost got more, didn't get more head. But looking at their results.
See, we need Lucas to say that.
Yeah, sorry, Lucas, I had to steal it, but he was MIA.
Yeah.
But I will say, I've got to go with the amazing Stetson Hatters, because, I'm sorry, that name is, I don't know why I like that name.
So is it like the Mad Hatter from Alice?
I don't know. Their logo is just an S, so I'm gonna have to do more into that.
I'm wondering, is it Hatter?
No, it's it's Hatters. So I guess
it's the Mad Hatters. Okay,
I guess
the Mad
so.
Hatters.
But yeah, I'm going with the Stetson Hatters. All right, guys.
You know what? Weird question.
Fighting Clint Eastwoods will be Presbyterian.
1 second, because we have not heard Lucas's dogs one time this entire podcast. And it's not a podcast without Lucas's dogs.
Ryan, your coughs made up for it.
Yeah, the coughs made up for it.
Ryan has coughs. Just make that a...
No, we're not making that a regular thing. I'm just saying it's the exception for this week. No. That's not anything. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for. All right, you're banned from. No, Ryan, seriously, you're banned for that. I'm taking it away. I'm gonna make sure you don't have a mouse.
Dude, Lucas, stop making faces. We're gonna have more meme material with your faces.
Dude, just wait.
I just made a face too, like we use as a meme.
Nah, okay, but that is it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, please be sure to give a like on this channel on the video, as it does help the channel out more than you know. And also, we might have a FBS head coach on the show next week. So stay tuned for that. We're not going to tell you who, but just know that his team is as good, and he has a first round NFL draft pick for next year on this team. But that's it, guys. Once again, thanks here again. Thumbs if you loved it. Subs if you loved it. Until then, stay winning. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Peace.